Time's up. Have your own.
Here it comes.
Give me the meat, and give it to me raw.
What's the matter? Take yourself a great big bite of meat. Taste the pleasure of the highest quality pork around.
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
But we're told that we don't like any of this because we're misogynists. We just don't like this stuff because we're women. And the only reason we're unhappy about the Ray movie coming out, because, guys, did you hear the Ray movie was canceled and uncanceled? Did you hear that?
Dre, you heard that too, right?
I did hear it.
Wait,
I did hear it.
What did I do?
You said because we're women.
We hate it because we're women.
Okay. I said it. All right. Yeah, see, now Ariel just arrived, and she's going to make sure that I remember that.
Yes, we didn't want it to come out like this, but Adam is in fact trans. He's coming out of the closet. Him and Dermy are in a relationship. It's time.
It's still there.
I didn't say that.
And then Monday
happened, Adam. You let the reach around happen.
I
don't know why I put that analogy
I'm trying to get around that one and looking at the time so I can come back and clip it later.
Wait, you guys all have mobile phones, right?
I just use it to look at the weather and make a phone call.
Is weather what you call the hub?
I have a computer for that. I don't jerk off on my phone.
We want to enjoy what we're looking at. We don't want sores and fat whores.
Liar! No.
Let me be as clear as I can. Ain't no colors in Scandinavia.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Wait, this isn't Saturday Night Driving.
No.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the round table, where we seem to be a little short-handed today. But the show will go on. We hope everybody's had a good weekend. I am obviously still suffering my minor internet woes, the wiring of my cable, which is why I'm off camera, because otherwise I'd be frozen half the time because of frame droppage. But we are happy to have you guys here today, despite the fact it's just two of us at the moment, maybe three. Dre will probably be here. We've got a good show for you today. It's been an interesting week. Whether it's many a trailer dropping, many a trailer to dissect. Some people, we're not going to go over every single trailer. It was a week of trailers. We're not going over every single one. But there are a couple we are definitely going to look at, just for the simple fact that they are trash, and they are, how do I put this? They are signs that there is no saving the franchises, that they are done. At the same time, if our good friend Dre is here, we will discuss whether or not X-Men 97 is a win or loss, because that was his homework, not mine, and I can't comment on it. At the same time, though, I want to lead everything up to a discussion at the end here on whether or not the narratives are working. I want to look at these ideas, at how these narratives, whether or not it's the Sweet Baby Inc. Kotaku narrative, whether or not it's narrative surrounding Disney Star Wars, whether or not it's narrative surrounding Doctor Who or the recently completed Halo Season 2. There's a lot of narratives running around, and they're being pushed by people who are, let's just say, disingenuous, who are shills, stands, I like to call them. They're trying to push ideas, and it's very clear if you look at the grand picture that these narratives are false. But we're going to do this. Anyway, Jed, hi. How are you?
Hi.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a long time since it was just you and me on a stream, so it'll be nice to, re-garner our intimacy that we've so lost.
I know.
And
it's not like we did this yesterday.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And
And it's not like that stream's going to be mostly positive, whereas this one is just going to be so much fun berating the shit.
We're going to roast it.
Oh, yeah, especially the Doctor Who trailer. I think we're going to enjoy tearing that one apart.
Yes, both of us have done a reaction to it, and I am pleased that even though Friday Night Tights did do it, they missed a couple of things. They missed a couple of things because they were clowning on it, but they were clowning so hard that the two people that would pick up on it, Gary being one of them, they missed one perfect little half a second screenshot that it's glorious. Anyway, so that's it. It's us right now. I'm sure Dre's going to join us. So we Dragon Lady, I believe she had plans. I don't remember clearly. I'd have to go look in the chat. Either way, let's say hi to the chat, and Jed, we'll get started. Because let's be honest, we'll start with Doctor Who. It was going to be only you and I talking about that anyway.
Yeah, well, it's just the two of us. Makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Hail, Goddess Legionist, one of my mods, one of my regulars, along with good Sir Algrim the Strong. Hail to you, my friends, here to keep the peace, here to troll me a little bit, make sure that I stay on the straight and narrow. Good afternoon, Kale. How are you? Hail to you, Ruben X. Huzzah, son of Joxer. How are you? And anybody else watching, not chatting, we're happy to have you here on what's always a busy Sunday afternoon. And wait a minute. What have I done? I haven't done anything to earn a Boomer +1 yet. What have I done? Let's see. I started on time. We were not late and dermy. The clips came out fine. I had a half a second between one of them. I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm trying to correct my schedule here. Ever since I was sick, I've been on a horrible wake-sleep schedule. I'm going to sleep. Basically, it's the sun's coming up, and I'm getting very little sleep. So as I'm trying to ratchet back my hours. How do I get a Boomer +1? I want to know this. How do I get a Boomer
fixed your internet yet?
That's not my fault.
That's the only thing I can think of.
That is out of my control. That requires other people to help me, whether it be the channel suddenly massively becoming profitable or the building, the leasing company that owns the complex, upgrading the wiring, which is over a decade old, which they're not going to do for one person. So I've accepted that lot. Hopefully it does fix itself. So I don't know how I got a Boomer +1. I don't know. Anyway, all right, Jed. It's just you and myself. So let's just get to this Doctor Who trailer. Let's just go right to it.
Do you mind if I slip in real quick with what we talked about last night?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so yesterday I was over at the Geeks and Gamers Content House doing some work for them, and in the garage we found a random bag with my name on it. We have no idea how long it's been there, who put it there, who sent it to me, but there was a statue, a toy inside that apparently is for me, since I'm the only Witcher fan in the crew, really, and it had my name on it. They let me take it home. So this was in the Geeks and Gamers Content House for me.
The immortal giant.
Yeah, this is the giant from Witcher 3 in the Skellige storyline on the island of Unvik. And I don't know who sent it to me. So if anyone in the chat is the ones who sent it to me, please let me know. I appreciate it. This thing is awesome. This giant
looks really nice.
Incredible. So yeah, it's going to be going up on my background next to Siri up there. But yeah, just a weird story about how this came to me. So thank you, whoever sent it. And it's pretty cool.
That is weird. But that is a really nice looking statue. Mm-hmm. And hey, well, listen, the fellowship is generous, and we appreciate that generosity in whatever way, shape, or form it arrives. But they haven't been generous to Doctor Who.
No,
because this thing is complete garbage. So let's get to this. We're gonna go through it. I didn't get a claim. So as long as we transformative it properly, we should be fine. So you've seen this, right? Yeah.
I have seen it, but before we talk about it, something interesting happened. So about 2 hours before the trailer officially came out, I got sent a link to a website, a news site that already had the trailer early. The trailer was on Disney Plus unlisted for about a day before it came out, and I got to watch it several hours early.
Really?
It was weird. Yeah, I watched it the morning before it came out. And I was going to make a video on it. And then I remember the last time I did something about a Doctor Who leak, and I got my first and only strike. So
really,
I wasn't gonna do it early. I wasn't gonna make my video early, but it was a weird situation.
Yeah. Hi, Dre.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm late. I got tied up.
It's okay. It's okay. You have a life. I don't. It's fine. How are you? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's good to be with you guys. I've had a pretty good week. Very surprising week as well, all things considered.
Yeah.
But yeah, good week. Good week.
Yeah. We're starting because it was just Jed and myself. We are starting with the Doctor trailer, and then after that, we'll give you a chance to weigh in on X-Men '97 because you're the only one who watched it. You're the only one who watched it. I've heard conflicting things. Although I will say I did watch a couple of clips. That animation is dog shit.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. All right. All right. Hail the last Tolan. Hail to you, fan of Stargate. Excellent. I love it. All right. All right, Jed. So you've seen this. Dre, if you have a question anyway through this, go ahead and ask because we know that's how you like to do it with Doctor Who. But this thing is an abomination. It's almost ratioed. It's almost ratioed.
How many views does it have?
2.9 million.
Okay, so yeah, when the previous trailers came out, they were pretty much all on the Doctor Who YouTube channel, and they were getting atrocious views. Like the trailer for the Blu-ray edition of a classic Who season demolished 90% of the trailers. It wasn't even fair how much that it got over them. But when this trailer came out, people were saying, "Oh, you're saying that Doctor Who doesn't get any views? Nobody cares." Well, look at this trailer; it got so many views. It's like you can't compare the views of the Doctor Who YouTube channel to the Disney freaking Plus YouTube channel.
Exactly. At the same time,
content is just really different.
And remember two things. One, Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Second, remember, this is we see these dislikes because of an extension on all our browsers. It's on every browser. I have it on Chrome. I have it on Firefox. It shows you. It is an estimation, and it's a low ball, conservative estimation. So in all likelihood, this thing has actually been ratioed at this point because I remember doing it. It's off by 70% usually. So this thing's probably
off by a lot.
It's probably got honestly 30,000 dislikes at this point. Honestly, it's probably been ratioed to hell. We just don't know because of the way it works. Because the extensions, the return the dislike button only works as well as it only works for as many people who have it. Because it has to, so it's an estimation. So this thing probably hasn't ratioed. And at 2.9 million views, only 13,000 upvotes, that's atrocious. That's horrible interaction. But
yeah, and that's public information. We don't need to rely on guesstimation for that low like ratio. 13,000 is terrible, like you said, for 2 million views. So yeah,
wait till we get to the Acolyte.
Wait till we get to that.
Yeah,
but everyone on Twitter. Everyone on Twitter is just in so much denial about this trailer, about this new era of Doctor Who. Everyone who's still supporting it. I had a tweet blow up the other day about the new poster that came out with this trailer.
The one you put, like the one you tweeted on.
The one that looks like it's from Austin Powers, not Doctor Who. And there were people in the comments saying, "Oh, well, why do you think Disney's involved? Disney's not telling Russell T Davies what to do, and you can't." Disney Plus is getting all the primetime slots for this show. The UK is getting this show at midnight.
We're getting it early. I mean, that's going to pose a problem because this drops on a Friday. I looked at the calendar. Me and Dermy are going to do a dual review. We're going to either it's not going to be a long-form review where I'm going to break down the scenes like I normally do. Dermy and I are going to watch it, and then we're either going to go live or record our thoughts. But there's the problem. It's a Friday, which means Dermy, we're going to run. We have a problem. We might run into ballbusters depending on when and how we get our hands on to watch it. So we might have
that first day. It's a two-parter. They're releasing 2 episodes the first day, so I don't know. At least that. So
we're probably gonna do it on Saturday night. Then that's probably when we're gonna do it because even with ballbusters, it's already a problem scheduling wise because Dermy gets home and then he's a lazy ass motherfucker. He's always slow doing shit. But so that's gonna be a problem. But it's a problem we like to have because we'll get it first. And that's great. It's Disney Plus. This is Disney money. But it's also a benefit because Disney won't claim us when we watch it. For all our hate on Disney, they understand that throwing claims at us isn't going to do anything.
They're absolutely the best when it comes to copyright claiming. I at least in my experience.
Yeah.
I have to give them credit where it's due.
Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, they don't claim us, and thank you for that. But also, we'll make more money on this than they will. So let's do it.
Give me the loving.
Cringe already.
Give me the loving.
10 seconds in and cringe already. And I want to remark on this now. He has no doctor look.
Every single episode, it seems like multiple times in an episode, he has a different outfit.
Yeah.
And for Dre, if you don't know, every doctor, at least for a season, has an iconic look, and it's sometimes made into a joke that he never changes, but it has to be something so unique that you can just see his clothes without his face or anything and exactly know it's the doctor from this era. And every single episode, he's wearing something different or multiple times so that it can't be in the normal tradition of Doctor Who. There's no way that he's going to have an iconic look that you can put up against all the other doctors. Even Jodie Whittaker had a consistent costume, even though it was garbage.
She only had one. She never. A lot of doctors will get subtle changes. At least New Who doctors, I think.
Yeah, subtle. Some of the classic ones did have subtle changes too. Like John Pertwee's, the color of his velvet suit would change a little bit. But some minor changes to the costumes is always expected. Though I think the worst modern Who costume up until, of course, this era was the hoodie that Capaldi wore in.
That was the worst
9
one.
Or
but
10.
then they put him back in his good-looking suit. And I liked it when they put him back in the suit. Hi, Dragon Lady. How are you?
All right. How are you this evening?
All right. So let's keep going. It's already cringe.
Where did he come from? I don't know. He sort of popped up at the right moment.
It's Avengers Tower. We have to say that because it's there.
Yeah. Adam, if it's all right with you, would it be okay if I pulled up the trailer? I think because of your
it's being choppy. God damn it! All right, yes, okay. You do it. I'm sorry. That didn't even occur to me because when I was doing my my reaction, it doesn't matter on my end if I'm doing the reaction because it's loading properly. Okay, thank you for that. I forgot. Screw my building. Okay.
All right. Now, does anyone know where that is? Did you notice where that is, Adam?
That is okay. I believe is that where Jodie regenerated?
It is. That is the cliff tops.
And I think that's from a later shot where they show it overgrown later on.
Yeah, it must be. So I don't know why they're revisiting that shot, but they're making it very clear. They're not going away from the Chris Chibnall era. In fact, that's the one that they're pulling the most from, except for the occasional shot of David Tennant.
Yeah.
But this is a Disney reboot. Let's be clear about that. They're calling it season 1, which is wrong on so many levels because up to this point, Doctor Who has followed the British style of television, which is to call seasons series. So this should be series 1 if it were a UK show. And since it's a reboot, they're resetting it to season 1 versus season, 14 now? They're just making it very clear that this is Americanized reboot, Disney reboot of Doctor Who.
Do you remember how much money Disney dumped into this?
The rumors were 10 million an episode, but Russell said that's not true, so we don't have the exact numbers. But it's garbage.
I'm not exactly believing him these days. So
that's true. But it is funny. He has been liking posts and tweets and whatnot about, or Instagram posts. He doesn't have Twitter, about people making fun of the release schedule. He may not be a fan of Disney taking all his prime time.
Well, you sold your soul to the devil and not our
sympathy.
devil that we like. You get nothing. That's what you get. All right, let's keep going.
Where did he come from? I don't know. He sort of popped up at the right moment. And then he.
So I thought she was bedridden.
I thought so too. The lady on the left. So Dre, these are her 2 black adopted mothers.
Well, one's the mother, one's the grandmother.
It's
her black adopted family.
It was raised.
What's happening? Wait.
Millie Gibson, the white girl with the nice titties.
Proceed.
Yeah. But most of this footage that we see in this trailer up to this point and even after is from the Christmas special, which came out, at Christmas. That episode's already out. We unfortunately saw it, and they're reusing most of that footage, even though they have a whole new season's worth of footage ready to go in a couple months.
Jed, let me ask you this, because you'll be better to answer this. Since when has the TARDIS appeared at something and destroyed a ceiling?
It never really does materialize and break something. Like, it can materialize in weird spots, tight corners that he has to readjust a little bit. Some great jokes have been made from that. Yeah. But I can't remember a single instance where, unless the TARDIS was severely damaged and came out of materialization in movement. But this one doesn't look like it's damaged. When he opens it up, there's no smoke coming out like usual or anything. This doesn't look like it's damaged. It just looks like he didn't account for how low the ceilings were. That's why the Doctor parks outside most of the time.
Yeah. All right, go.
Let's talk about time travel.
Ruby, you want to know my secret? I have the whole universe at my fingertips. And I'm all on my own. I'd love it if you came with me.
Who are you?
Shirigawa.
I'm the Doctor.
He sounds like an adolescent child saying that.
There's zero presence from this dude. I mean, that Christmas special was his chance to show us if he could carry the gravitas of the Doctor, and he didn't.
No.
There was zero presence. Nothing at all. And here's this is from the 60s episode, which later on in this, they're doing another musical number. Yes. Goblin rap wasn't enough.
No, more musicals, and we have at least 2 confirmed gay love stories for him in this season, and the 60s era one is one of them. The guy Jonathan Holt, who played Agent Smith in Matrix, the new Matrix one that just came out.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch that one. He's been in a lot of other good stuff too, like Mindhunters. He was the main character of Mindhunters. He's gonna flirt and dance with Shurigawa, a classic waltz with a man in what looks like the 1800s. That's totally something that you could do in public. And then, of course, the whole story about her, Ruby's boyfriend being in love with the Doctor secretly, played by Prince Eric from the Little Mermaid movie, which just came out.
Oh, that twink.
So there's probably more.
We're gonna get a shot of the Bridgerton, because they even use that fucking word.
They even say Bridgerton.
I lost my shit when I was watching my reaction, because that was not. I hadn't watched it up until that point. They don't care. They don't care. And you notice in this trailer, because they had it in the teaser from couple months ago, they cut out him dancing with the dude in the Bridgerton thing.
They did
in this one. They cut it out in this one. They didn't show it, but they showed it in the previous one.
Oh, I do need to clarify. It looks like the 60th episode that they're in right now is the same episode as the one that they are in the Bridgerton era. Like it's believed to be the same episode. That's why I said this is from the gay episode. That's what I'm saying.
So he's gonna do this costume and Bridgerton costume in the same episode.
That's the belief.
My brain hurts.
Yeah, he's going to be changing so much in every single episode. There's so many shots of him in just regular t-shirts, occasionally going era specific, sometimes just doing wild nothings, like his kilt spinning with a wife beater from the Christmas special. It's all over the place. There's not going to be a consistent.
I think the only consistent thing is when he's in his t-shirts and wife beaters is that necklace he wears and his pinky ring finger.
Yeah, he has a lot of rings.
Yeah, and painted fingernails with Gallifreyan language on them. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Jed and I both use this for our thumbnail. I see one doctor here.
Yeah,
I see one doctor. This.
It's just cheap member berries. The rest of this trailer and everything else that they're putting out is saying this is a reboot. Don't think about Classic Who. And then they can put in stuff like this to say, well, maybe if you like the old stuff, you can keep watching. It's schizophrenic marketing that it's supposed to convince the stands that this is still Doctor Who. And they're falling for it. They are eating it up. Yeah. And it's pathetic, honestly.
That's why I'm doing this out of spite, because they don't get to have this victory. Well, they have it. Let's be honest, they have it. But I'm going to piss all over it every chance I get.
I imagine this will be a shot that we've seen with many previous doctors of seeing images of the predecessors all in sequential, just like Matt Smith's first episode at the end. And then
but that was badass in 11th
That
Hour.
was awesome. And then David Tennant had a moment like that as well in the next Christmas special where he had the Cyberman memory stick or whatever that he projected for the fake new doctor.
Yeah, but see that in 11th Hour, that was a show don't tell moment of check the records, look who I am, and then as they all go through it, and then he walks through it. Do you understand now? And then
he turned it on. He's goofball through most of the episode, but when it's time, he can be the serious.
And as he does it, he finishes tying the bow tie. He's got his look for the next couple of seasons. His look, his signature outfit, bow ties are cool, and he walks through. Do you realize who I am? And then we're out of here. We're not going to deal with this. That was it. This is cheap. It's cheap. And it's not even powerful because it looks like he's trapped here. This looks like a trap that they're scanning him.
Maybe
to identify him. That's
maybe that's what they're doing is they're seeing his previous lives displayed while they're scanning.
Well, I wonder if they're going to show all the doctors of color that they've inserted to destroy the backstory, the lore.
Oh yeah, the whole timeless children stuff and the fugitive doctor. And I don't know if you noticed this, Adam, but that's David Tennant on these screens in the back too.
Yeah, yep, and that's young David Tennant. That's not even the recent.
Yeah, that's not the 14th Doctor. I'd say this is from his second or third season.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
It's called the TARDIS. It's a time and space machine.
Is it safe?
No idea.
Do you think she's the Ronnie, Adam?
I don't know.
They want you to think she's something crazy.
They want you, that final shot of the Christmas special. Haven't you ever seen a TARDIS before?
When she broke the fourth wall, God, it was terrible. There's been doctors who do slight fourth wall breaks, just like a wink at the camera or a slight glance. And those have been good. Like in Peter Capaldi's Heaven Sent episode where he's talking to himself and he's like, I'm nothing without an audience. And then he just quickly looks into the camera and keeps going. But
or
we've never had
my favorite Capaldi moment, fourth wall. It's just a glance when Missy's telling the story to Clara about all the doctors. Like, which one was it? It doesn't matter. They're all him. And he just stops and looks at the camera right where he ducks and uses the sonic to grab all the energy from the back. That's a fourth wall break. But it's Capaldi and his glance, his presence alone. He had the look and he just smiled at the camera, looking right at you. That works.
Melly Gibson here. She's getting something.
Oh, I'll give it to her. There's a great shot in this later on. It's a great moment. Wait, okay. Since when does the TARDIS lose its internal gravity like that?
Only if there's been a malfunction or he specifically turned it off. There's no time in flight where that happens.
That is a brand new TARDIS. It copied itself from the real TARDIS, and it
trying to memory hole that.
Yeah, he hit.
This
the
isn't
mallet.
even the actual TARDIS that we know.
I know it's not the old girl. This is a copy. It's a clone.
Just like Shurigawa.
Yes.
It's a clone show. That's all this is.
So maybe it's retarded. Okay, let's go.
The retardus.
I like that. Okay.
What if I change history by stepping on a butterfly?
Well, that's not gonna happen, is it?
Oh, look, forced humor.
They've actually addressed stepping on a butterfly in previous Doctor Who episodes, and as I believe it was David Tennant told what's her bucket, Martha, in the Shakespeare episode, if you make a change like that, history corrects itself. History is like a river. You throw a pebble in, there's going to be some ripples, but it's going to recorrect into its planned course. Of course, you could make major diversions, but if you're going to step on a butterfly, it's going to correct itself immediately. So they're going against established.
Yeah, that's a time travel element that's been used before and other things where if something changes, if you're going to fix it, history wants you to fix it. His time wants you to fix it. So you can get back to as close as when it happened, and you can help write it because it wants to go in the right direction.
Yeah, it wants to be right.
Yeah.
But
so this is forced humor.
And if this were actual Doctor Who, I'd assume this was going to be an episode with the Silurians coming back, because this kind of looks like a human Silurian hybrid that she becomes.
Something
but
like
knowing
that, yeah.
them, they're probably making it up. They're being very adamant that they have no intentions of sticking to the previous monsters, the previous lore. They're making up stuff like that monster we're going to see later. It's not Doctor Who.
At most, we'll get a 5-second Dalek so they can keep holding on to the rights.
Russell T Davies actually recently came out and said that was a myth.
Really?
I don't know if I believe him, but yeah, he said it's a myth, and the fans were stupid for believing it. He actually said that.
We'll find out. If they don't do any Daleks this season, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Chris Chibnall kept putting in the Daleks, which he hates once a year, it's probably true. That's like the best evidence for it. Like I can see Moffat and the previous RTD era doing it because everyone loves the Daleks. But Chris Chibnall, if he's doing it for a legal reason because he does not want to put the Daleks in anything.
Yeah, unless Disney has a new deal in place with whatever money they sunk in. If they said we're rewriting the ownership rules,
they could have outright purchased the rights for the Daleks.
Yeah,
We'll
never know. We'll never know.
But at the end of the day, just like you said, Disney changes the game on everything. The people who are like, oh, it's just the distributor. They have zero say over it. Russell has said they have control. They're getting the primetime spot. There's so much Disney in this. It's undeniable at this point that this is Disney's reboot. And people denying it is baffling to me. Like, how far up your own ass is your head?
Yeah. Okay.
What's wrong?
With all my adventures, never seen anything.
Oh, hang on. Let's yeah.
With all my adventures, never
see.
There you go.
I am okay with that. Listen, Millie Gibson, not the best actress, has said a few stupid things, but she's a very attractive woman.
Is that his Sonic in his hand that's gold now?
It might just be a lighting thing, but that is his MP3 player Sonic. Yes, that is the MP3 player.
Looks terrible.
I'm going to give FNT credit for this joke. He looks so frightened of her right there. He's so
a beautiful woman. What do I do?
Now, why does he have a whistle around his neck? I guess they're military uniforms of sort, because that looks
like it. Yes,
combo fatigues.
Undercover as military people.
I'm trying to look anywhere else, but I can't. We got to move on. I'll keep making sex jokes if we don't move on.
Seen anything like this before?
So yeah, now there's Bird Bridgerton people.
Okay. I hate that. I hate that so much. Not just because Bridgerton is an abomination of period piece television.
You mean it's a Jane Austen fan fiction TV show, which is essentially what it is.
Well, yes, but the fact that Jed, once more, I rely on you for this because you have a better you're a better repository because you've seen the episodes way more than I have. I am.
Did you say repository or suppository?
I said repository.
Okay.
I said repository. I'm not that old.
Okay.
Stupid. Doctor Who is timeless because they don't make stupid references like that. How they don't lock it in necessarily to any sort of time.
I mean, with the companions, they do to a certain extent. Like in the Shakespeare episode of Martha's season, they talked about J.K. Rowling in Book 7 of Harry Potter quite a bit.
Okay.
There's little stuff, but it is plot specific and more inside jokes because David Tennant, was in Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, we can understand that. But
yeah, nothing like this.
Oh my Bridgerton.
Yeah, because we've never seen anything like that.
As Dragon Lady just said, Bridgerton, it's liked by a very specific crowd
who don't know the history. And
don't know
Doctor Who is supposed to be more historically accurate with the sci-fi elements changing history, obviously, but history is an important aspect of this show, and the Doctor should come back at her and say, that show is not true in the least, right?
Yeah, and we go back to a point I made at the beginning of our discussion of this. He keeps changing his outfits. He changes to faux period-specific outfits. The Doctor wears his signature outfit wherever he goes, and because he's the Doctor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's wearing the vest, the tie, the bow tie, the fez, all the fun stuff. The scarf, the trench coat, all the iconic stuff you understand. Whether or Eccleston in the leather jacket, didn't matter where it was. It doesn't matter. He's the Doctor, and nobody will pay attention because usually shit is going down, and suddenly he's commanding the room. The fact that they got to put Ncuti Gatwa in a different outfit for pure pieces, it screams by the fact that if he was in the lazy outfits they're putting him, the current day outfits, it would destroy the scenes utterly, because you're not commanding presence in your V-neck wife beater or V-neck T-shirt with all your gaudy necklaces and rings all over your fingers.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up wearing a gimp suit at some point.
Oh, dude, don't do that to me. I have to actually watch this shit. You don't have to.
I don't know. Enough people are asking me that I'm considering it.
Oh, well, see, I'm already locked in. I can't get out of this. So don't wish a gimp suit. You got one a gimp suit on me.
Wish it on Jeremy.
Well, it's the same thing at that point. I have to do it with him. Anyway, all right, let's go.
It's completely.
There it is.
Jinx Monsoon.
Like this before.
Oh my Bridgerton. This place is.
Come on.
There it is. All right, Jed, who is that for people not in the know?
That is Jinx Monsoon, a previous RuPaul Drag Race drag queen called the Music Master.
Oh, another somebody master.
Okay.
And there's a penis there, guys. There's a penis. We're gonna get another penis in a minute here.
And this is part of the musical episode, I believe. And there's a whole bunch of other musical stuff with Mel Gibson in this trailer singing or whatnot. But yeah, I imagine the Music Master is gonna pull basically a toy maker and reshape the world to be a musical or something like that. I imagine that's how
wow, it's like they already did that. They're so lazy. God, Russell C. Davies, you've become so lazy.
And it's going to end with Ncuti Gatwa singing Jinx a love song that breaks Jinx's heart.
Is that a leak you got, or
no? I'm
funning?
just
funning. Okay.
I'm funning. Yeah, it's going to be a
surprised.
Great scene.
Listen, you might not be
Jinx
far
is going to
off.
be a victim. Jinx is going to 100% be a victim and say, Jinx was mistreated because Jinx is trans. That's so mean. Oh, I feel for you. You can rewrite reality. Just let me sing you this love song. And then Jinx's heart is going to grow 3 sizes like the Grinch, and everything's going to be hunky-dory after that. And no one's going to care that a bunch of people are dead.
Good Lord. All right, let's keep going.
Things seem to be turning more and more supernatural.
That's an important part of the trailer. So Russell T. Davies has confirmed this is no longer a science fiction show as it has been for 60 years. Now, of course, there have been elements of fantasy in it. It's a science fantasy, and there have been references to, especially in the beginning of the Matt Smith era, the style being a little bit fairy tale, and having sub aspects of it is fine. But he's made it very clear this is not sci-fi in the least. It's not that we're focusing on supernatural as a subgenre. That is the genre. Now we're going fantasy, we're going supernatural, and we're going to see a lot of supernatural coming up. And that means he doesn't need to write the rules, is the way he sees it. Because in science fiction, it's rarely accurate to science, but at least they try to come up with scientific explanations for everything, make things fall within a set of rules that make sense. But as soon as you say it's magic, he thinks anything can go. As we all know, that's not true. Internal logic still needs to exist in a well-written fantasy universe, but this is just indicative of his laziness, and it is my personal opinion. That's why he's doing this, is to be lazy and just like, oh, it's magic. There's no way we need to explain that. And that we saw that in the Christmas special. Nothing in the Christmas special
made sense. They had plenty of setup at moments where it looks like they're setting shit up, but then they don't follow through. And they're going to need a lot of magic to convince us that Ncuti Gatwa is even a bad clone of the Doctor. It's going to need a lot of magic for that. All right. Waiting for it.
No, don't be silly. There's no such thing as monsters. It's just creatures you haven't met yet.
All right. Now, that's a Doctor line.
Yes, I do like that line. And I immediately thought, what would Matt Smith look like saying that line? He said lines like that in the past.
And
Matt
he
Smith
says
would be able
this.
to nail it.
And now, in literally half a second, well, just play it. Show everybody. All right. Well, bad monster.
Yeah, that's not something that exists in Doctor Who's universe. That is full on. We're trying to make a horror film.
Yeah. And now He's gonna run. He's gonna run like a little bitch. Now the doctor runs. Let's not pretend the doctor doesn't run from shit.
Oh, he runs all the time.
He's the man who runs. He's the man who flees. I mean, that's one of his monikers. He's the guy who runs away. He runs from shit if he gets out of jail, but he doesn't run like a little bitch.
No, he was trained by Tom Cruise. He knows how to run away gracefully.
Yeah. Except, well, Shooty God was not running away from his gayness. Listen, here's the thing, though. This is. There's no masculinity in this at all.
Oh God, no.
It has been drained. The doctor, when he's running, it's a tactical retreat, and it's not so much out of fear. It's out of I need to buy time to figure this out. What we just saw is a girly man running away out of fear.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut out a high-pitched girly scream from that scene, and that's going to be in the episode.
I would love that. I would love that. I would make an audio clip of that, and I'd make a clip for a lot of things. All right, it's coming up now. It has to be. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
There are powers.
Hey, go back. Use the period. Use the period key. They'll slow it back. It's the forward and back. Just go for it. Go. Oh no, you went by it. You went by it. Go back. You went by it. A little more back, like 5 seconds. There it is. Okay. Count the penises in this picture. I see 3.
I think that might be one too.
That might be one too. Because all right, first my eyes went to the tiny person on the scooter. That was where and then I realized who they were in front of. Oh look, it's Rose with a penis. It's Rose with a penis.
Now, we know David Tennant isn't in this season, but David Tennant is living with this Rose with a penis. So how's that gonna work?
Man Hands returns. I can't wait for this episode. I want to see how they're gonna make Rose. You know, I even forgot his actual name. What I forgot it now at this point.
Yasmin Finney.
No. I mean the character.
Oh, the character.
The dead name. Jason. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Shooty Got was going to flirt with Jason.
Oh, I hope so.
And it's going to be like, and they're going to show that it's past Yasmin's birthday. They'll be like, "Oh, you're 18 now." Whoa.
Well, here's the thing. If he flirts with Jason Noble, that just confirms his penis. Because listen, Shooty Got ain't going near anything that doesn't have a penis.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
And yeah, it's not going to help that the character's supposed to be a teenager. Yeah, they tried to convince you that Rose was 15 in the 60th anniversary.
All right, that got Dre's attention because Dre's back on camera. That got his attention.
Yeah, I have questions.
Yes,
I have questions. What the heck is going on?
We don't know. We don't know. Because there's one thing this trailer is missing: a story.
Or good sets at this point. I want to mention that
like I've been sitting here for the past 15 minutes, just sitting there watching, and I'm just like, I don't know what this trailer is supposed to be doing.
It's supposed to be diverse and inclusive. That's what it is.
Yes, actually.
I'm vastly overwhelmed underwhelmed and confused. and I'm just like, okay, the check boxes are there. Where's the fantasy? Where's the fun? I don't.
Oh, there's been no fun to be seen in this.
Just a whole lot of gay.
Because I guess technically I'm the target demo for this show. Someone that doesn't know a whole lot about Doctor Who. This is a fresh start and all that stuff. American audience, blah 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 blah. I'm checking all the boxes. Oh, and black, of course. So I'm checking all the boxes here, and I'm not being moved one iota.
But it's a black man who's trans there with a gay man who's trans and a tiny person on a scooter. I can't wait for this episode. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be great.
This stuff is baffling to me. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
And we think that's a woman in the security outfit. We think maybe, I don't know.
Oh, that's a dude, man.
I don't know. It's ma'am. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's ma'am, all right.
So this thing is it's all over the place. This scene, this screen shot alone is just diversity and inclusion run amok. And
who the little person in the chair?
We don't know. That's a new one. Listen, Moffat might have been your last thread of hope if he had been left out of all this, and then could have legitimacy to come back and fix it. But if he's involved, it's done.
It's an unconfirmed rumor that he specifically is throwing doubt on Stephen Moffat. It is not confirmed, and I don't believe it's true at this juncture.
Okay, all right, because listen, I firmly believe R.I.P. Doctor Who at this point, because RTD has dumped 6 feet of dirt on this coffin at this point.
Yeah, just think Twice Upon a Time is the series finale. That's when the show ends. It's a kind of a hopeful note. Yes, there's issues with that episode, but it ties the beginning to the end, and then there's going to go off and have more adventures. Like, it's a bittersweet ending, and I think it actually works very well as a series ender, and just cut out those last few minutes. And the version I love is someone edited in the curator into the end of that episode from the 50th anniversary. Just add that scene at the end, and we've got bookend. It's totally fine. This is just a reboot.
And the problem is that Moffat would give us a slight bit of hope, because if he's not involved, he's the only other person that would have any sort of legitimacy to right the ship. Whether you love him or hate him, when he's on his game, he's on his game.
When he's on it, yeah. But he's proven to be willing to work with the BBC and their crazy mandates during especially the Capaldi era. Yeah. So I think it would still be bad if he came back.
It's a slim to no hope. It's like a 0.1% chance of hope, but if he's not involved. So, all right, Jay Fraser said he is writing the 3rd episode, or has written the 3rd
Can you
episodes.
provide information on that? The only thing I've ever heard about Stephen Moffat is the Christmas special for 2024, which has been contradicted as a rumor.
Yeah, but either way, so this scene, I love it. I can't wait for this episode. It's going to be glorious. I bet Derby's going to have an even bigger meltdown than I am, because he hates Jason Noble. He lost his shit when we were going over this stuff. All right, let's finish this up.
Beyond the universe, so vast.
That's probably supposed to be some emotional moment that we're not going to give a shit about.
Probably.
And why are they ripping up the TARDIS? You just put it together. Your copy is brand new. What are you doing? It can't be. I hate this. I hate it.
All worlds could slide into the pit. This is what we're trying to stop. I'm still at Mom. I need to know she'll be okay.
Yep, there's the music master controlling.
She's gonna sing. She's gonna sing. When a show has to rely on gimmick episodes like this coming out of the gate, because they're the gate. This is not a good sign of anything. There's no depth to this. There's no soul. We're going to see in a second here. It's going to be another companion is the key to everything. I'm just saying girl key to everything, because it's I'll say companion, but it's lazy. It's lazy. It's got no depth. And is there even going to be a real villain for the overarching? Because every Doctor Who season eventually has somebody who you build up to. You have to worry
to a certain extent, yeah. And I haven't seen any evidence or heard any rumors about who the actual season villain's going to be. And it might be a situation like Jodie Whittaker's first season, where it's the first episode and the last episode are connected, but that's it, with the tooth monster.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah, Dre, imagine a space warrior assassin who, when he kills people, he takes their teeth and smushes them into his face until they stick. And he just wears the teeth of his enemy in his face.
Once you realize what you're looking at, you go, wow, that's kind of disgusting, and I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah, he was the series villain.
Okay. Is that...
How many times when we do this are we going to break poor Dre's brain? How many times can we do this?
I don't know. 400 more times before I have a full-on aneurysm, I guess. I don't know. That sounds dumb. Okay, once again,
it was dumb.
So once again, I have to quantify. Is that I want to assume that is not a standard for Doctor Who villainy.
No.
I would assume.
No.
Right? Why do it?
Because Chris Chibnall thinks he's creative. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can understand if that was like a villain of the week type thing. Like, for instance, like if you're watching a long running show, and then like one episode is a one-off and it's a dumb villain, like a music maestro or something ridiculous.
That has happened before, like the Absorbaloff and Love and Monsters. There's dumb stuff
like something like that. But for a big bad, that's retarded.
It was retarded. It was dumb.
I don't.
Well, Dr. Jodie Karen was dumb. She was the dumbest doctor. I think Shooty looks like he's going to be a little bit smarter, but she was the dumbest doctor.
I think you're right.
You idiot. All right, let's wrap this up.
You keep us safe. I will keep us safe.
Everyone is saying she's going to die.
No, she's not going to die. She's confirmed.
She's
to
not.
come back.
But that's the funny thing. These Twitter stands don't know that. They all saw that point and they're like, "Oh, she's going to die." And then me and other people who are educated on this are like, "She's confirmed to be in season 2." Oh, you're just insert.
She was smart enough to get out of this as quickly as possible. I think. Realizing,
get replaced by the Andor Indian chick.
God, that chick, she's so bad. I mean, Millie Gibson, she can have a career being a sexy girl, and you can get away from this because they don't want you to be sexy in this, and they don't want you to go anywhere. And eventually, you're a pretty white girl. They're going to make you the villain. So
Millie Gibson had the same motivation behind her character creation as that shot of David Tennant that we saw. Just a little bit of trying to get people in before they make it the show they actually want.
Yeah, with, as we said, diverse Andor girl who looks like she ran face first into the ugly stick. Okay. Yes, I said it. All right, let's go.
I promise.
It's taken me all this time to realize what I'm here to do. I'm gonna save
It's just pause. I got to remember also, he's going to have a moment influencing the Beatles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what the 60th episode is partially about, is the Beatles.
Yeah. No, I'm no fan of the Beatles.
My grandmother would be turning in the grave at that.
But that song is terrible, in my opinion. The changes.
Now, I missed this in my take, and FNT caught it. He's writing bitch.
Yep.
The doctor is riding bitch on that scooter. I missed it. I think I was just caught up in being bored and annoyed. And it also, you don't realize it here because you're going to see it in a second here. It's a half a second of the shot. So you don't really see it unless you know for it.
Someone on Twitter said it's okay that he's riding bitch because maybe he doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle.
He's the freaking doctor. He knows how to do everything.
We've seen him do it at the beginning of season 7 with Matt Smith. He had the anti-gravity motorcycle that he drove up a building. He competed in motorcycle competitions in anti-gravity. Like he's canonically an expert at a motorcycle.
He's the doctor.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the knowledge of the doctor pass on each time the regenerate?
It's the same soul, just different.
It's the same. It's the same man, basically.
Okay.
Just a new casing. Yeah.
Got
Same
it.
software, different hardware.
Yeah. Perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
There it is. He's
They really make you miss it.
Yeah.
And like you said, companion, key to everything. She's finally realized what she's meant to do. She's gonna
save the world. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I miss Bessie J. Fraser. That yellow car was beautiful.
Pertwee was a complete and utter man. That's
he's my favorite classic.
He was a man.
Mm-hmm.
He let you know. I mean, the famous commercial they learned. Now show me your tits. Show me your tits. All right, go.
Whoa.
What I'm here to do.
I want to look at that shot again real quick.
Where they're here? Or the next one? Where they're face to face?
No, up there on the billboard. I thought I saw a beer bug reference up on those screens.
I see a trans flag, I think. Triad technology announcement. I don't know. It's this is probably in the middle of Avengers unit building. I would assume. It's retarded. We're almost done.
Look at that the light on the top. They're making the TARDIS just in all these shots. The TARDIS looks more green than blue, like greenish blue. It's kind of weird. And then the top is just light blue. I don't like the design of the TARDIS exterior or interior, for that matter.
Everything is possible.
There it is, musical. That's him trying to look intimidating right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
everything
working.
is possible. That's
except
his
him being
moniker.
straight.
The Doctor doesn't actually believe that. That's a whole thing of his personalities. There are fixed points in time that he defends.
Yeah.
Time may change me.
Do you guys know what that's supposed to be a member berry for? I don't know if you remember, Adam.
I'm gonna say Trenzalore.
I could see that too, but this with the flowers all over it being overgrown, that's more for the end of season 9 when the Doctor lost his memory of Clara, the diner disappeared, and there was the painted Clara mural on it.
Okay, I haven't rewatched that, so even though I'm happy when she leaves, I'm happy when she's gone.
I love her death scene though with the Raven. I really like that encounter. Like, I will be brave. Like, she was so girl bossy that it killed her.
Yeah,
she tried to fly too close to the sun, tried to be too much like the Doctor. So I forgive a lot of her insufferableness in that season because it is what led to her death. It was her mistake being too confident and too over the top, too girl bossy.
Mm. All right. Yeah.
Let's see the ratio. Come on, let's see the ratio.
Oh, it's not. Well, we went over it. Well, this is the this is
I'm looking at the Doctor Who one.
I had it on the Disney Plus one. It's currently 13,000, 10,000, 30,000 to 10,000. But if you take into account as we explained when we started this, if you take into account the fact that the extension is an approximation, it probably has been ratioed, but we won't see it for a little while. But it's been viewed 2.9 million times, and it only has 13,000 upvotes, which is accurate.
And Adam, it wasn't Millie Gibson who was driving.
I realize that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mel.
I am so disappointed in Mel and the actress playing Kate Stewart because they know better. They were part of great Doctor Who, and Kate Stewart doesn't need it. For those who don't know, I just found this out. Actually, I just watched The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. She played the president in that movie, and that was a very important role. Kate Stewart is in Hollywood movies now. She doesn't need to do this anymore.
Well, this was shot a year ago, so I don't know. There's a lot of people who don't need to do this shit, but they do.
That's true. And Mel, like, I get it. She doesn't have anything else really going on, but she was a good companion. And her era had issues, obviously, but those weren't her fault. She was great.
Like, up until some of the New Who companions, she was considered the hottest companion, wasn't she? For the longest time.
For those who were into the ginger women, you can't get better than Sarah Jane or Romana One.
Yeah. But she was up there. I mean, so this whole thing is trash. It's going to be trash, and I look forward to roasting it for the simple fact that I know I'm going to piss off the stands, these fake fans. It's going to be glorious. And as I said before, Dermy and I will be dual reviewing this. And if Jed, of course, you are welcome to guest on that if you suffer it enough. If your audience wants you to suffer enough, you can join us as always. This thing, and I'm going to. This is one of the things I'm going to enjoy destroying because they're reveling in this victory of theirs. And screw you. You don't get to be happy about this. I'm going to be a salty asshole. I'm going to be a jerk about it. You took something beautiful. You took something glorious. You took something that's the foundation of science fiction television, and you turned it into a gay black man riding bitch on a Vespa. All right, enough of that.
Yeah, this show was so influential on so many things. Like, it's the cornerstone of not just science fiction. It's the cornerstone of a lot of British pop culture as a whole. Like, it is a British establishment. And now they're taking everything away from it that made it what it was. It's not British anymore. It's for American audiences. It's not sci-fi anymore. It's fantasy. It's not for the fans who built it for 60 years. It's for LA fucking trans and gay people who don't actually want to watch it either.
Disneyfication.
It is not anything. It doesn't resemble what it should be. And the people who are still saying this is Doctor Who, this is a resurgence. Yes, I didn't like the Chibnall era, but this is great Doctor Who again. I don't understand these people.
No.
Like they must be some of the dumbest people in human existence. I'm usually very much not the person to say stuff like that. It's like, if you enjoy it, I question.
No,
this is
disingenuous because there's going, look, we've made it gay. Ha ha ha, we've made it gay. And that's why I say, when I say disification, I mean lame and gay. Disification used to mean weak and kind of princessy and happy ending shit. No, now it means lame and gay.
Well, and it goes on so many different levels. Like, it's not just gay fun, gay whatnot, and it's explicitly gay. Like him getting snowmaned in the Christmas special. That's a reference to a very degenerate gay sex act, like beyond normal, like just holy shit. And then the people on Twitter are celebrating that he's a gay man with a mustache. Doctors don't usually have facial hair. Very rarely, and it's only for like a one-off usually. And do you know why it's so important? I don't want to like say it explicitly on this, but they're celebrating the fact that he has a mustache as a gay man.
Prawn.
We'll just say flavor saver of some kind.
Okay, moving on. All right.
That's why I didn't say it explicitly, but they're going to that detail where they're just like, we're making this for. They're still saying it's a children's show, but they're making it explicit, and the fan base is relishing in its explicitness.
Yep, because they're degenerates. The people who have been brought in now are degenerates. They are not here to be fans of anything. Well, us real fans, we're going to do what we're supposed to do. We're going to roast this shit. It's our job. And I will take pride in making more money on this than Disney, because it's on Disney Plus, which means it's not going to make any money. No money will be made on this. And if it's 10 million an episode, which is the rumor, at probably, I would say 10 episodes is my guess. They usually run 10 episodes for a series.
They're going shorter. I think it's 7 or 8.
Well, that's still $70 million that Disney doesn't have and will get no return on investment on.
Yeah, it's going to run for 7 weeks, I think, because of the 2-parter opener. So it's only going to be 7 weeks.
Okay. Well, it's 7 weeks of content. Look forward to that, guys. We'll do it. Hopefully, we won't lose our minds. And either way, listen, we're going to be guaranteed dermy meltdowns. Think of it like that. It's going to be guaranteed dermy meltdowns. It'll be funny. Okay. Let's move on to something else now. Let's shift gears. Dre, you had homework this week. You had homework because I fulfilled my end of our deal. I watched Madam Web. I reviewed Madam Web. I talked about Madam Web. You watched the first 2 episodes of X-Men 7. It wasn't a batch drop. It was a 2-episode drop. There's another, another 8 weeks?
8 episodes.
8 weeks. And I've heard mixed thoughts, I'll just say. People have been positive. You were semi-positive.
Yeah.
But I want to couch up with knowing that this is Disney, and we know exactly how this can way this can go. As you've told me many times, don't be fooled. Don't, and some things may seem innocent and not abrasive or offensive at the start, but it can take a drastic turn. And from what I hear from experts who are better educated in X-Men lore than I am, some of the episode titles towards the end are screaming, be afraid, be very afraid. So, Dre.
So let me
go ahead. Go for
be
it.
as frank as I can. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and they're as a whole. Taking them for what they were, I enjoyed them. I had a couple problems logistically with a couple of things. Sunspot needs to go immediately. I don't know what they're doing to him. I don't like it. And the depiction of Magneto was not for me. Nor was it for Dragon Lady, which was pretty funny. But but overall, I know you had a problem with the art style, Adam. I can see where the money was spent as far as the art is concerned on the action sequences. The action sequences, I can tell they spent some money. Even like reworking Cyclops and using his optic blast a whole lot more than the 90s show did, because now they actually have the budget to do so. The combination attacks, like a lot of that stuff worked artistically for me. When they're sitting around talking is where you see the budget has been
That's the clips I saw of sitting around and talking, and it just seems so stilted and it's just all you see are lips and eyes moving, and it's what are you doing? And of course, where are all the lady bits? Where are all the lady bits? What have they done to my girl Rogue?
So go, Dragon Lady, please.
Says seen tiny little bits from other YouTubers posting in, and the first thought that popped in my head was Wolverine and the X-Men was a lot better than this.
Agreed. I don't think that's debatable. I
saw a little bit of that. I saw a little bit of that.
Go back, Adam. If you got time, you can get on DVD. Go back and watch Wolverine and the X-Men. That show was pretty darn solid.
A couple episodes I saw were good. I remember I liked X-Men Evolution as an iteration too. I was okay with that. I mean, they really jostled things up towards the end of it, but I did like it. I liked the animation in that one too. I did like the animation.
Animation was very good.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of X-Men Evolution, but the art was very good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the idea everybody was teenagers. That was weird to me.
Well,
but,
that was the thing at the time. Let's make everybody
teenagers. Yeah.
They were riffing
everybody
off
was
of
kids.
They were riffing off the mid-stride Fox X-Men reboot of First Class. They were riffing off of that.
Yeah. But as far as the show goes, like I did enjoy the first 2 episodes, but I am no idiot. I am no fool.
Yeah.
I like these 2 episodes were written to seduce me. And it's funny, my brother said the exact same thing. He was like, yo, why is this so good? Why is this joint trying to draw me in? Like, what is going on? I'm like, they're trying to seduce us. Plain and simple. There's 8 more episodes coming.
Yeah.
Without question, butt stuff is going to happen.
That escalated.
It's not even. I need not.
Between who? Do we know? Can you wager? Guess?
So this, I have some thoughts, but before I get to those thoughts, I have to address the Bo DeMeo situation. He was the showrunner.
Yeah.
That ended up getting kicked off.
We didn't talk about that last week. Ran out of time.
Yeah, he ended up getting kicked a week before, and now there's all these rumors of like, oh, he has OnlyFans and all this stuff. And like when you start hearing a bunch of different stories that are conflicting, that tells me it's an inside job. What I've noticed, I had to do some research on him because I had no idea who he was. Bo DeMeo, he's done writing on a few other projects, one of them being The Witcher. And he was a major backer of Henry Cavill. And when Henry Cavill was telling the creative team of how things were going against the lore, Bo DeMeo was actually backing him up when it was going down. Hence why he got fired as well.
That's not exactly how it went with The Witcher.
No. I'm just talking about I'm not going all the nooks and crannies, but I'm as far as Bo, as far as his journey.
Right. He verbally supported Henry Cavill, but he
verbally
didn't actively support him. Like he still wrote some of the worst lore episodes.
Oh yes. I'm not talking about for the quality of his work, Jed. No, I'm not talking about the quality of his work, but I'm talking as far as him backing, as far as his backing of Henry Cavill. I'm just looking at a pattern at this point. I'm just trying to find a pattern of why someone who is checking all the boxes, that is now writing a show that's definitely going down a very dark path, and I know it's coming, gets the axe a week before. I don't know if he's actually cleaned up his act and is trying to write something good, and then the studio interference or whatever the case may be. I'm not even going to dig that deep into that rabbit hole, but it just seems very inconspicuous and very strange and very weird that someone that has all the check boxes, all the right things, saying all the right words, is now gone. And when I look at the first 2 episodes of this show, which by credit he wrote, could it be, but I can only tell in the next few weeks, could it be that he wanted to stick to certain source materials and the studio didn't want to go that way? I'm very, very interested to see how badly this goes down. And and there's a part of my nerd brain that wants this to go really, really well. I would like to see 8 more episodes of good X-Men. I would love to see that. Nothing will bring me more joy.
But then there's a party that wants Disney to burn.
And yes, and that part absolutely. I want to see Disney burn, but I do want to see good X-Men. But at the same time, I'm not going to allow myself to be tricked. I'm not going to sit there and allow myself to be like, oh my God, are they really turning the corner? Blah, 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 blah. No, they're not. So, but I know for a certainty, a lot of bad is coming. The direction that they're going with Rogue and Magneto.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Let's say, okay, so there are canon stories of Age of Apocalypse and one other Savage Land storylines in which Magneto and Rogue do get married and all that other great stuff. They always end in tragedy. It is something that happens in the comics. Now, here's the problem. This is one of the things I pointed out on my review, and some dude had something to say to me. Whatever. I'm not worried about these morons. This is not the same characters from the Age of Apocalypse storyline. This is X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
They have no relationship history in this timeline. That's not a thing.
Her entire history in X-Men, the animated series, is with Gambit.
Yes. Romantically is with Gambit. 110%. So the idea that now we're shoehorning like, oh, they did have a relationship, not only is that lazy, not only is it dumb, not only is it lore breaking or fusing a bunch of different stories together or whatever, I can see the handwriting on the wall. I've seen this story before. There's going to be some thruple foolishness. I'm not even talking about love triangle. I'm not even talking love triangle. Ooh. I'm talking thruple foolishness. It's coming down the line. It's coming. Because I think they've decided that they can't do the Cyclops, Jean, Wolverine route thruple thing. I think they've punted that football. But this Gambit, Rogue,
the Gambit crop top thing that became a thing on Twitter.
And I don't know why they're okay. Those are people that didn't live back then and know that that's what muscle dudes wore. Yeah. Like they just don't know. They're like,
it looked gay back then too. We said it.
Yes, it did. Yeah. But when Carl Weathers is doing it, ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Yeah. But it still looked gay. Shorts, crop top. It was gay.
It did. 100%. Soft as ice cream. Remember that was time when Prince was ruling the galaxy in blouses. You know, he was ruling the galaxy in blouses and banging every chick that was coming around the corner.
Yes.
So it was a different time, but the thing now that is being used now, I have a bad feeling that they're going to transition the fact that he's wearing his crop top and all that stuff, that now he's going to be some type of weirdo flippy floppy and get into some foolishness. Like, all these seeds are being planted for a big fall. And I didn't even mention Morph in my.
I've heard he hasn't played that big a role yet in terms of what he's likely to be.
Exactly. But this would not surprise me that there's going to be an entire episode about who he is. And like, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be setting up something with Mr. Sinister. And I hope that he ends up being the big bad. But I just have a bad feeling that all of this is going to fall apart. So what I am going to say is this. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I think the animation was a lot of fun. I had some things structurally wrong with the episodes. A couple A/B stories in episode 2 I prefer not to see. But there was a lot of good stuff too.
How was the voice acting?
Oh, go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
No, how was the voice acting?
Voice acting was decent. It felt like everything was in play. The original voice actor for Wolverine, he was getting new. It's still him, but he was giving new direction.
Different. Okay.
But because apparently he got direction to try to sound like George Bronson.
I mean, okay, so because when I saw the trailer, I was people saying that's not him. If it's
and that's what I thought. I thought it wasn't him.
Completely different. It's completely different. Yeah.
But apparently he got direction to try to sound like George Bronson because that's what Wolverine was based on back in the day and all that stuff. So it is still him, but he's doing it differently. So it's weird. It is weird because that's not Wolverine's voice, you know. Yeah. But I really didn't have a problem with the voice acting. I thought everything was done really well. I just had a bad taste in my mouth with Sunspot. I don't like his depiction whatsoever, and I didn't like what they did with Magneto. But other than that, I think the Executioner was cool. I think what they did with Storm was really awesome. Finally classifying her as an Omega level mutant in the animated joint, so that was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff that was on screen, so I was really excited to see fun X-Men stuff. But I'm no fool. I know the hammer's coming. I know they're trying to seduce me, and all of Twitter's going crazy, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, the X-Men is Prime, it's back." I'm like, wait, man, just wait. It's an accident. It's Disney. It's an accident waiting to happen. There's no way they're going to continue the stories.
They can't help themselves.
They can't.
No. That's why I've been hesitant with Deadpool 3. Everyone's like, "Oh, this looks great, and I'm sitting there thinking, Fox is now owned by Disney, and most likely Disney's going to stick their noses in at some point. There's no way that they're not going to not do that.
All right, so you'll keep us surprised on a week-to-week basis. We'll stop it and we'll check in.
So every week I'll faithfully watch it and make a review, but I know what's coming because the original show was pushing what Judeo-Christian values and strong family units and all. That's not happening. Like, are they going to bring Nightcrawler in here to talk about how his strong Catholic faith? And is that going to happen? No, it's not going to happen. Are you kidding me? Like, so I'm like, there's going to be levels of degeneracy that's going to come down the pipeline, and it's going to get rough, and it's going to get weird, and it's going to get bad. And I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to try my best, since I'm going to suffer through this, to enjoy all the things that are coming. So the animation's fun, the characterizations were good, and the action sequences are really good. So I'm just going to take it for what it is, but I know what's coming.
When it takes that turn, it's all going to feel bad no matter what.
Yeah, because you're trying to set me up for a fall, but I'm not going to get myself emotionally invested.
Yeah. And that Dre is trying to be objective, guys. You gotta understand, he's trying to be objective. He's not trying to be. And there are a lot of people who are completely negative on this because they don't like anything. I'm sure if I watched it, I'd probably be a lot more negative than Dre is. But I'm far removed from all this lore that, and I honestly haven't watched the original series since it ended. I've never rewatched it since it ended. So and my X-Men lore is casual, iffy at best. I know a lot of stuff. I've read some stuff, but I am not an expert. So my take is a little inconsequential outside of probably mechanical impressions in terms of animation, voice acting, and of course spotting the agenda when it appears. That's why I gave it to Dre, because Dre is a much better objective take on this than I am. And we strive for objectivity. Well, and I readily admit that when it comes to Disney Star Wars, I have no objectivity because it's trash. Complete trash. Jed, can you get the Acolyte trailer since I am unreliable right now?
I got you.
I sympathize with that. My internet is a bit off at the moment.
Well, it's not my internet is fine. It's my upload speeds. That's my problem. I right now we do all this stuff. Everything's hunky dory. It's fine. I get everything fine. There's no lag on my end. It's I produce the lag is the problem.
Yeah, it's the upload speed.
Yeah. So we've got the Acolyte. Wait, zoom back out first. Let's take a look at that ratio.
Oh my Lord.
All right. Once
8
again,
million views and only 175,000.
Only 175,000 views. And we're going to come back to that. I just wanted to note it right now. After we get through this, if there's discussion I want to have. Dragon Lady and Dre, you weren't here. Once we're through talking about this, there's discussion about narratives that I want to have to wrap up the show, and false narratives and all that kind of stuff, which we've had before, but it's even more prevalent now. So here we go. That was 475,000, likely 3 times higher to 175, 478. And that this has been destroyed. It's been eviscerated. The comments are probably gold. At least they were. I see fire. This one's done. I can't close my eyes. You know, we're seeing one alien can't close his eyes. Everybody jumped on that. There's been a lot of fun being had, and it's made the Disney stands get bent all out of shape.
They're all bent out of shape over this. We'll get into that a bit. So let's go through this because if you haven't experienced it, you have to. Because you have to see how bad this is. All right, let's go.
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you.
Stop it right there. I pointed this out in my reaction, and a lot of people miss this. Yeah, let's just rip off Obi-Wan from New Hope. Let's just rip off Alec Guinness, Sir Alec. Your eyes can deceive. Let's just rip it off because we're lazy. And you're gonna have to note it's so diverse. I did my take before watching everybody else's, and afterwards watching every other take. We all say the same thing at this moment. Look how diverse these younglings are.
Is there a single white boy? I haven't seen one.
No. They are all of color and Asian descent. They all are. And aliens.
Something I want to point out here is the guy who's talking. I believe that's the guy from Squid Game, who is a good actor in that show, but this is one of his first American roles where he's speaking English, and I don't think he was ready for that. Ready for speaking English. It's raw. He's a good actor, but I mean, like if I was a good actor here, moved to Japan, and was asked right away to start doing a Japanese movie, I would be the worst actor on the planet. So, like, it's not like an actual criticism of him, but it's an unfair situation that he shouldn't put himself in.
But it's Disney.
It's Disney, and they're like, "Ooh, thing popular. We can get their fans in our fans because it popular."
That's the exact equation. You are absolutely right. That is the exact equation. Okay, let's keep going.
We must not trust them.
All right, there's our acolyte.
Tell me,
there's our
what
acolyte.
comes into your mind?
Yeah, and what they want to make sure you know in the interviews is that lady who's coming in, the acolyte, the Sith acolyte, she is misunderstood. There's no such thing as good and evil. That's something a actor actually said in an interview. The great thing about Star Wars is there's no good and evil. It's all grayness.
Yeah, that idiot
Have you
during
seen
Star Wars
Star
Celebration.
Wars?
These are people, they want, there's a reason, and I said this during my reaction, there's a reason they're pushing this. It's all about perspective. There's no good and evil. It's about power. It's about in between. It's about what you do with it, because they want to push this non-binary shit in this. They want to push that heavily. That decide who you are for yourself. Don't let labels define you. Fuck you, Leslie Headland. Monster who's a gatekeeper to a monster.
Is this whole show? Look, I've made it my business to pretty much remove myself from Star Wars. I've disconnected myself completely. I have seen the trailer though, but I have a question: is this entire show just an allegory for scissoring, or
it's Leslie Headland? So yes, it's all queer. She has gone out of her way to let you know repeatedly and unintentionally, because I did a follow-up video on this, that everything with her, it's about queer. Everything.
And it's absolutely not about Star Wars. From that quote just there, fundamentally misunderstand Star Wars. It's probably the franchise that I know is most black and white, good and evil. Like, it's got some of the clearest lines in any franchise I've ever seen. And Dre,
it's a World War II allegory. I don't know how that can be misunderstood.
Now
there's good and evil.
I don't get
Great Jedi in between. It's a made-up thing by fake fans for the past decade. There is no such thing as Great Jedi. There's a real Star Wars, the expanded universe, did a moment after the end of the Yuuzhan Vong War, after the New Jedi Order arc. There was a trilogy dealing with the Killiks where Grandmaster Luke Skywalker, tried to ride the line between dark side and light side, and it didn't work. That whole story, that trilogy, the Darkness trilogy, it is an allegory for the fact that, and I think I'm using that correctly, for the fact that you can't ride the line with the Force. You have to choose a side, because when you do that, it will still start to corrupt you. You cannot be in the middle. There's light and there's dark. Great Jedis do not work. They do not exist. It's made up bullshit.
Well, and Dre, do you remember one of Leslie Headland's most famous Star Wars quotes that she has about what her favorite Star Wars film is?
Didn't she say none of them?
I want to just be in all the Star Wars. Hang on, I have it right here.
It's fundamental that shows she doesn't know anything about Star Wars. She doesn't care about Star Wars. It's all about the queerness. None of these people researched Star Wars or were fans of it. If you've got,
okay. Here's my issue with. Well, I have an issue with a lot of these people because I pretty much disconnect. The way Adam is disconnected from Marvel is the way I've disconnected from Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I have plenty of books up there. I got all the movies, all the great stuff, cartoons, comics, name it. I've done it. Here's my issue. Simple questions like, what's your favorite movie? I can tell you Return of the Jedi. I can tell you that without even thinking about it. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. Is it the best Star Wars movie? No, but it's my favorite. I could just sit there and say that to somebody. The idea that you now have to dance around the idea of what's your favorite Star Wars movie, the answer is none of them, which is probably true. Because she hasn't seen any of these movies.
Yeah. Well, even I apologize if it skips, but I have it right here. So.
What kind of Star Wars fan are you?
I am the type of Star Wars fan that doesn't even have a favorite movie. I just want to live in the universe of Star Wars continually, in perpetuity, forever. So when people are like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? I'm like, there is no Star Wars movie. There is only Star Wars.
Yeah.
What the heck does that even mean?
Yeah, that's I know nothing. That's I know nothing of Star Wars. That's what that is.
All right.
That's not real words.
No. Words out. Words out.
And is that answer? What's worse, her answer there, or someone saying that Attack of the Clones is objectively better than A New Hope?
Those are both. Well, one is heresy, and the other one is just an idiot. Now you can decide which, but
yeah. Yeah. Look, I'd rather have some kid born in 2000 tell me that, hey, Attack of the Clones is my favorite movie. I'd rather have them say that to me.
That's fine. Saying favorite. No, he said objectively better. And this isn't a kid. This is done said publicly, but a certain drunk 3PO said that Attack of the Clones was objectively better than The New Hope.
Listen.
Well, if
he is the best of us, I guess we can forgive him of something.
They have the right to feel they feel. They're wrong, but they're very wrong. But this is my thing. That's an opinion, and I'll take it. This lady said, I just want to live in the universe.
That's because she's never seen a Star Wars movie in her life. She's never read a comic book page or read a book page ever.
She's concealing ignorance behind pretentiousness.
But that's dumb. I'd rather you just be wrong.
You have to remember, in that interview, that was also her live pitch to Kathleen Kennedy, hire me. And guess what happened shortly after that? She hired her. Because she talked about it. I referenced it in my video, my follow-up video this week. When we're watching all of this, the pitch she gives to Kathleen Kennedy was Frozen meets Kill Bill. Unintentionally, the Hollywood Reporter and several other shills, they report on the fact that that's what she said. And then this week, a clip from Star Wars Celebration last year surfaced where she's talking about how great Frozen was for its queerness. About how it's a story about queerness, how it's a story about two sisters being in love. And
that's not what happened.
Legitimately, what people believe, they believe her ice powers are a metaphor for coming out as gay. Like the parents knew she's gay, hide her from the world, and she might lash out a little bit.
I'm of that narrative, and I actually like the film, but I'm so
I hate the film.
That narrative.
I hate it too.
I hate Frozen. I think, and no offense, Dragon Lady, I think it is a soulless, empty movie that is just songs.
Tangled was the last great Disney movie, in my opinion.
I
agree with you on that, Jed. I completely agree with you. Tangled is a wonderful movie.
Wait a minute. Let's just rewind for a hot second. Let me get this straight. People think Frozen is about somebody being in the closet.
You didn't know that. They think it's a giant gay allegory.
And some people, like Adam said, take it farther to say it's an incest.
Yeah,
love story.
I don't know what they were smoking when they came up with that, but even I could tell them.
So
no, that's not it.
When Leslie Haslam says that, and I think I said Frozen 3. I just meant Frozen when I said it earlier. When she thinks that when she pitched it to KK that the Acolyte is Frozen meets Kill Bill, and then you hear what she thinks
blood
of Frozen.
And queerness. That's what she means. Is blood and queerness.
Violence and gay. Violence and gay. So that is what when you hear that, do not be surprised when there's a lot of scissor me timbers in this show. Do not be surprised.
You doing okay, Trey?
He's not.
No, I'm not. So when my niece and nephew, when they were very young, they loved Frozen. They would play that movie.
The movie was made to sell to kids with the merch and the music, and it worked. It was
brilliant. They loved it.
That's what Disney still knew how to market.
Yes, and they would sit there. I'll put it on, and I'll be in the back playing on my Switch or whatever I'm doing. And they'll sit there quietly, watch the movie, and sing the songs, all that great stuff.
Yeah.
At no point did I feel that there was some overtone of, first of all, incest. What the heck is going on with these people? What is happening?
Leslie Headland.
Two sisters can't love each other without them getting some of the X Division championship.
Wait a minute, Dre. We were just talking about X-Men '97. The picture of Magneto and Xavier that was using that. Everybody's saying, "Oh, look, they're gay together." That's a thing running around on X Twitter right now. Horny Alf even memed me and Dermy in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
They're just friends, and I was like, "No." I said, "No, that's not happening."
Okay, that's fine. I know what picture they're talking about because they're like leaning on each other and stuff.
Yeah,
they're friends.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been a gay narrative between them for a while. Like people think Dark Phoenix heavily hinted at it.
God's sake. People hear my words. Leia, hear me. Everything is not gay.
But that's all these people understand. They define their entire world. That's why Leslie Headland is she's not a creative. She's an agenda-driven. I was gonna say a bad word. She's an agenda-driven C, and all she does is be able to put what she is on the screen. There's no depth to it. That's all she cares about, pushing her ideology. And
so Frozen meets Kill Bill is what it's supposed to be. So
that was her pitch to Kathleen Kennedy, who brought it up instantly.
So just for my sanity,
she
is assuming that Frozen is about gay lesbian.
Hang on. Let me see. Do I have it? Did I keep it? Yes, I kept it. Give me 1 second. I keep it. Let me just throw it up here because I was reminded of a trick. I was reminded of a trick the other day. Just drag the video onto the tab and it counts. So
yeah, it does. But while you're pulling that up, some people were upset. These same people who saw that in the first Frozen were upset the second Frozen didn't confirm it. There were woke people criticizing Frozen 2 for not making them actual incest.
Once more, I apologize if this skips on you guys, but the audio should still work, and that's what matters here.
Then as a grown-ass woman, I cried.
Hang on, let me go. Sorry.
When I saw Frozen as a grown-ass woman, I cried through the entire movie. There was just something about the relationship between the sisters, the like de-villainization of the classic kind of fairy tale bad guy, the concept of true love being between two sisters and not a heterosexual relationship. Like it just destroyed me completely. And I thought, gosh, I would love to make something like this that is, for lack of a better term, Disney, meaning something that like my parents would have allowed me to see when I was younger as a queer person.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What is going on? Are these people are not well?
No.
These people are not well.
No.
You saw Frozen and you were like, man, I'd sure like to see these sisters go at it. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
There's still 10 seconds. There's still 10 seconds.
But I would have been able to understand as a queer person, and I think I would have had a completely different life. And so I really was inspired by it and was like, God, I would love to make a story like this.
Well, guess what? She is going to make a story like this.
What is
called The Acolyte, which
and
is Frozen meets Kill Bill.
And
so
you
it's
missed
going to
the
be queer.
important part of that is that it's about queerness, but her parents would have let her watch it because they didn't realize it was about queerness. But as a queer person, she would have been able to pick up on it. She's saying it's specifically designed to talk to your kids and manipulate your kids without the parents' knowledge into being queer.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What? Okay.
What we're doing is we are shining a light on this shit. That's what we're doing. So that I'm saying, I know what you're saying.
As a society of people, we're pushing the idea that incest is okay.
Oh, that's been going on for a while.
Is that what's happening now?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I have cut myself off from society in general. This is why. this is why I don't deal with too many Homo sapiens anymore. Because
For the Homo erectus.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yes, Farnsworth. Let's do it. So I can't wrap my mind around the idea that me engaging in unspeakable evils with a member of my family is something that should be lauded, not only lauded, but encouraged. And that type of ideology should be implanted into my children so that they can think that that is okay. Okay. Are we just from a different generation and we just can't understand what these people's mental illness is doing? Is that it? Because this repulses me on every level. And look, and I've never had anything against anybody from any walk of life. But if you're going to sit there and tell me that the idea that scissoring with your sister is okay, that I will not co-sign. I will not be a part of that. You people are not well. They're not well. Yeah. And if this is what this allegory is for this show, because like I said, I have disconnected myself from Star Wars.
All we're doing is I'm presenting the information that is available to us. Her pitch, it's Frozen meets Kill Bill. And we just saw her in her own words. I have not doctored that. I have not edited it. It may have been janky because of my upload speeds, but the audio was there. And other channels have shown that clip. So it's out there. That is how she feels about Frozen. And if you take that and you say that is the kind of show, that is kind of that is the part of the ingredients in the Acolyte, we can only infer that this show is going to be very queer. Because the Frozen is her ultimate queer allegory. And she wants to write, in her own words, she wants to write a story like that. And remember, Amanda Sandberg, the chick playing the Acolyte, has a twin sister in this.
Mm-hmm.
Infiltrating the Jedi.
It's the same actress, yes.
Yeah, she's playing herself, but that still doesn't. It's the what I'm proposing is still there.
Right. Do you think this will be TVMA? I've heard rumors that it might be.
I don't know.
Because we might actually get to see.
So, I mean, she'd be making out with herself. Of course, it'd be a body double, but with a digital face on. But you understand what we're saying. If we are to go by what Leslie Headland, former assistant to Harvey Weinstein, says, this is the story she wanted to write because of what Frozen means to her. I'm simply...
How'd you get that from Frozen?
I am simply laying out what is there. Okay?
Holy crap.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's keep going. And as hard as this is, let's keep going.
Life.
Well, remember, he's asking, what do you see with your eyes closed? Go back. Life. One says life. One Asian girl of representation is life. Another girl of women's. This says darkness. And now go back a half a second. And now I guess is that a little black boy?
I see fire.
I see fire. And go back 1 second just so that people understand the meme from before. That poor alien guy right there. He can't close his eyes.
That was the whole thing. Is close your eyes. They may deceive you.
That is the most popular response in the trailer comment section. I can't. Close your eyes.
Well,
they may deceive you. I can't.
Look at the alien in the back left. He looks high.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's been a weird obsession with that one by the stands. They're obsessing about the hairy one in the back.
Really?
How? I don't know. They're going, oh my God, he's my new favorite. The weirdos. Like, oh my God, look at it. Yeah, I would assume so. Now, once again, this is Disney making up random aliens that don't exist in Star Wars because they think they're creative, when in fact it's just stupid. And to have the line, what do you see? Close your eyes. That poor son of a bitch can't close his eyes.
And they should have had him like cover his eyes or something.
But they're not that smart.
Nah.
They're not that smart. Now,
or leave the alien out of the shot. Jesus.
And what's funny is also when that one says fire, one of the best memes that we got out of this was the whole That one's done. But if we're playing by Jake Skywalker rules, that's done. He's over. He cannot be redeemed. End him now. This one is lost to us.
I mean, there's that, and I don't know if anyone else thought this, or I might just be the young one here, but I immediately thought of Ed Sheeran's Hobbit song, I See Fire.
I thought that as well.
Thank you.
All right, let's keep going.
Hiya.
Hey, look, it's Carrie Ann Moss.
Why'd they have to drag her into this? She was good in one thing.
Guess she needs a paycheck? I don't know.
That's true. She agreed to come back for the Matrix 4, so.
Yeah, she's a paycheck.
Oof.
Now, listen, I once did unspeakable things to myself over Carrie Ann Moss.
You get in line, Adam. You get in line.
Yeah, I mean, she made that leather work a lot. But now, and I didn't pick up on this because I was making fun of her being in this first place. But in this second, we're gonna see a little action moment here. Hi, Trinity.
They want you to think Trinity.
Yeah. Hi, Trinity.
That looks terrible. The hand-to-hand choreography.
Yes. Now, this is a Sith acolyte. She hasn't earned her lightsaber yet because in Sith lore, you have to murder your fellow acolytes and steal a lightsaber. Unlike a Jedi, where you're a youngling or a Padawan, about to be a Padawan, and you have to go through a version of the trials, and you have to then construct your lightsaber. That's your final thing. A Sith basically has to murder somebody and steal a lightsaber. It's about power. It's about control.
Now, is this Disney thing true in Expanded Universe that you have to take the crystal and dip it in blood to make it red?
Is a Disney abomination. There's no such thing as bloodletting or bleeding a kyber
to make
crystal.
a lightsaber red.
Yeah, no. There are just red crystals. They're just red crystals. There's no warping a crystal to the dark side. That's bullshit. That is complete and total bullshit. I double checked when I first heard. I'm like, wait a minute, is that ever a thing? It first appears in the bad current day Darth Vader comics from Disney Marvel. That's where it first appears. So no, that bleeding crystal is not real. So it makes sense that she doesn't have a lightsaber yet, but also we're breaking lore. Rule of two, or I always like to call it rule of 2.5. Because there's always the master, the apprentice, and then the secret apprentice that the apprentice eventually gets because they're getting ready to become the master. Yeah, there's always that. And so now Palpatine broke the rule of 2 openly by having multiple apprentices because that was his thing. He thought he was going to be the only Sith Lord forever at that point. So he was just trying to make sure he always had somebody around.
But Adam, this is what I'll and correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there also in Sith lore, there were still Sith assassins. That was still a thing, right?
Well, in Sith, before Darth Bane instituted the rule of 2 and making it only the Master, the Apprentice, and the Secret Apprentice, there was the Sith Empire. And the reason Darth Bane put an end to he and his apprentice at the time, killed everybody, is because they kept killing each other and they kept being decentralized to the point where they never had enough power to overthrow the Jedi. The Jedi, where the Sith would always war amongst themselves for power, the Jedi would always unify and overcome. And that was the problem. And that is why Sith becomes so powerful into the prequel era, into the First Galactic Empire era, is because the power was centralized and the same techniques were passed on over and over again, and it was always the most powerful. The most powerful Sith were at the top, so they acted in secret and they took out Jedi here and there, but they always did it without drawing attention. And we're going to get to that in our final segment because we're clearly going to go over time, guys. So I'm sorry because we have to go over this the right way. They are going to break the lore and have multiple Sith at this time. It looks like they're going to do that. It looks like they are. All right, let's keep going.
Well, I just have a quick question for everyone on the panel. If you saw this shot and nothing else of the trailer, would you think Star Wars?
No.
She's wearing chainmail.
And she looks stupid. This character design is retarded. It's ugly too. It just looks ugly. Doesn't look like Star Wars. But remember, guys, this is the High Republic.
Nobody knows who that is, Adam.
Yeah, I keep telling people that on Twitter, but some people don't want to listen and keep trying to pretend that everybody should know what's going on here. That, oh my God, you should respect that a character we're going to see come on here in a second has been in so many High Republic properties. Don't you understand? Don't you read? No, nobody reads because as we mentioned, Drunk 3PO has mentioned a lot that there are numbers out there. I wish I could find them. God damn, my glasses are all smudged. This High Republic at this point, they purchased it in the thousands, not even the tens of thousands, the thousands. Nobody
that high.
Nobody buys this shit. All right, let's keep going.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
Now they made a big deal. Oh, look, yellow lightsaber, guys, yellow lightsaber. No, this is in the Old Republic. There were many colors. In Daphne Keene and some as a half-breed alien. Excuse me. They're trying to make a deal that they got Daphne Keene. Some will know her as X-23 when she was in Logan. You might know her from His Dark Materials. They make a deal. Oh, look, she's a hybrid of an alien that we once saw in Clone Wars. So, and this guy flourishing his lightsaber before it's even ignited. That was retarded. Let's go.
Well, and the yellow lightsabers come to be the lightsaber of the gray Jedi, yes?
No.
The Sentinel. In the Disney version.
In Disney, yes. Well, in Disney, they were the Temple Guardians. Well, in lore, they were Temple Guardians. If you go even farther back, it was KOTOR did this, but the lore kind of quickly went away from this when they realized it was kind of dumb. It would signal that you were chosen as the Sentinel path and how you were approaching the Force.
I've only ever heard yellow as being the choice of the gray Jedi, being not quite red.
That's somebody making shit up.
Okay.
That's somebody making shit up. Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
His haircut is...
Your hair doesn't make sense. Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
There's a lot of hairstyles in this that are incredibly modern.
Yeah.
Like the Acolyte's hair that we saw a moment ago.
Oh, God,
this monstrosity.
Yeah.
It's very modern.
Yeah. All right.
What happened?
Yeah, it's just the only white. It's been pointed out many times by people. The only white guy in this is a crazed person who needs to be calmed down with a Jedi mind trick. Only white male.
Yeah,
only white male there.
That's not surprising.
And this music is terrible, by the way.
Oh, and the CGI is pretty rough too.
Oh, it's really bad. And that's the character. Oh my God, she's been in so many things. Don't you understand? She's been in so many things. And
who this?
This is some weirdo character from High Republic that you start that in the early parts of it is a Padawan and grows into a master. And this is retarded. Why are you force opening the door?
Aren't they in the temple chamber?
That's a Jedi temple. Jedi don't do that. They don't walk around brazenly using the Force. Also, her thing is that her lightsaber becomes a whip. Yes, that's a thing done by I just forgot her name. Dark Lady of the Sith. She was first introduced in 85. Yeah, who was first introduced in 1885. Who comes back in the Fate of the Jedi arc to help try and corrupt. No, I'm sorry. No, sorry, she was in Legacy arc. She helps corrupt Jason Solo to Darth Vader. She's part of that. Lumia, that's it. Lumia, got it. Lumia, Lady Lumia, who, she was one of the faux apprentices of Vader, if I remember the exact part correctly. And she used a light whip, and it was interesting because Luke had to then practice dual wielding with a short lightsaber in order to counteract her whip. It's a very interesting thing. And now they're trying to say, oh my God, look, she has a whip like a lightsaber. Yeah, it was already done. Yeah, it's been done. Once again, butchering EU lore. Butchering it. Taking for their own. All right, let's keep going. We're almost done.
This isn't about good or bad.
Here it is. This isn't about good or bad.
This is about power.
About power. It's about power. No, it's about you pushing the message. It's not about good or bad. It's not about one thing or the other. You get to decide what you are. Non-binary. Fuck this shit. All right.
Use it. What is that?
All right. Right there. We can stop this here because it's pretty much over. That is the point of topic that's come up in the discussion this week. That is the point of topic that's come up because they want to try and talk about how you don't understand all those Jedi who saw that lightsaber. We as real fans are saying, listen, they all going to have to die because Phantom Menace, which is original 6 movies, and as the canon tier list goes, movies top everything. George says in Phantom Menace, the Sith have not been seen in over 1,000 years.
You really think they care to know that and keep to that?
No, they don't care. But what I'm saying is this. We pointed that out, that this show on principle doesn't make sense, that everybody you see in this show is going to have to die to keep the secret. And the counter arguments have been, and it's what I want to transition to as part of narrative talk. Because I want to transition, but I want to put it out there for a second here. This trailer is trash. It's been ratioed to hell. It has been rejected. And this show is not going to do well. But the narratives want you to think something else. And I'll continue my point about talking about the Sith not being seen in a second. The shills want you to latch onto this. Acolyte trailer gets huge amount of YouTube dislikes. Still breaks Lucasfilm record. You guys heard about this, right? Where Lucasfilm paraded their successful 51 million worldwide views across multiple social media platforms. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that's a Lucasfilm record that has been broken.
And these people must be of the mentality that all media, all press is good press.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can assume. But that's like something that I would say. Like
you guys bring that up. It's a great point because we're actually going to circle to that point in a moment. This idea that we're bringing attention to this is only going to, as critics, as roasters, us going after it is only going to be a positive because more people are going to get eyes on it then. We're only helping it. Hate watching only makes it better. It only puts it in front of people's eyes. Don't you understand that? That retarded narrative.
Mm-hmm.
This is, and I say narrative for a reason. This is we're in the era of false narratives because all they can do in all these things, whether it's this, whether it's trying to tell us that Halo Season 2 is an acclaimed season. Aside from me, have you heard, and I would say, I mean, Jed might have heard it because I know Epic Mike was screaming about it in G&G. Did anybody talk about Halo Season 2?
That answer is no.
No. And I barely got any traction out of it. I got a minuscule amount of traction. I made some people happy that I was speaking out about it. I had to do it because I was locked in for Season 1. If they do Season 3, I don't think I'm going to bother because it's unless the channel is much bigger and people are really clamoring for it, I won't bother if it gets to Season 3. But to say that Halo Season 3 gets a hopeful update from after Acclaim Season 2, there is no narrative for this of a success because nobody talked about it. In my own comments of my reviews, people saying nobody's talking about this. Nobody has any sort of interest in this. And it was a disaster for a reason. Our own friend of the channel, Melee K, narratives, where you get stuff where somebody's saying here, people act like you're just merely pointing out laziness, talking about gaming. I want to bring this up because we're talking about the narrative surrounding Kotaku, surrounding Sweet Baby Inc., all that stuff. To this person talking to our good friend Melee K, you people act like you're just merely pointing out laziness or wishing for better games when you get called out in between death threats to developers and minorities and pushing principal theory. That is a narrative. Since when do we issue death threats to people? And since when is replacement theory a thing? It's something they made up to pretend that we talk about. It's false narratives across the board that they try to hooya up people on their side to think that, oh my God, they're marching on us with all these things and this and that. It's retarded. And it pushes itself to going back to the Acolyte, these kinds of false narratives right here, where they want to say, let me zoom in a little bit. A red lightsaber appearing in the Acolyte trailer does not break canon. Qui-Gon Jinn literally fights Darth Maul on Tatooine, and no one on the council believed him. It's already been established that the Jedi are willfully ignorant to the resurgence of dark side users. Okay.
There's a difference between 1 and 15, plus whatever corpses are left.
Yes. At the same time, this is a willful butchering of lore to fit your narrative. That is not what happens in Phantom Menace. They acknowledge he faced a Force user trained in the Jedi ways. They don't know it's Sith, but they acknowledge a dark user, and they tell him to investigate. He is not. There is no willful ignorance. This moron here, Isabella Amidala, who I've seen popping up more and more, these idiots, they want to push these narratives. They want you to believe things are going this way. And then our favorite, this twit, who styles himself a YouTuber now. Have you seen he's got a YouTube channel?
I thankfully have not.
He's got a couple hundred subscribers in a few weeks now, and he thinks he's a YouTuber. And he's doing YouTube collaboration with the other worst shill on Twitter. They're openly collaborating. But he says this in response to Jay, you can appreciate this as somebody talking about how Geeks and Gamers is helping turn the tide in all these fights, how our voices have made us all realize we're all in this together. We are not alone.
And to clarify, which these two, Jacob and Zet, aren't aware of, Geeks and Gamers, we do not have an actual Reddit account.
Yes,
this is a fan-run account. This is not us. This is not our post. So I agree with it from the little that I've read of it just now, but yeah, it can't put this at our feet.
And all these things are just stating facts of what happened. That's all this statement here. This individual on Reddit, on this G&G Reddit thing, he's just stating the events has happened. There's no lies here. This is just a history of what happened. But these people want to attack it, and then this fucking idiot, who I just wish would block me so I could never see him again. He even says him on his YouTube page. He even puts it on his YouTube page. So let me get this straight. Their so-called plan is to not just watch the trailer, but provide interaction and engagement with every reaction video about it, and then make their own videos capitalizing on hating it and giving it even more exposure. Really showed them. They think that the old adage, all press is good press.
Which is entirely false. Anyone who is aware of how marketing works knows that's a lie. That's the whole reason cancel culture works for these people to a certain extent, is because it's not true.
That narrative works in maybe two ways. Pro wrestling.
That's fair.
Because it's all scripted.
Pro wrestling and family reunions. That's the only time that might work.
Family reunions.
Family reunions. All press is good press, because you know there's going to be drama going down at the family reunion when Uncle Ray comes through, and you know he got nothing but negative things. Somebody's going to fight him. Somebody's going to throw mashed potatoes. Somebody's going to be somebody's baby mama. There's going to be foolishness involved. And of course, pro wrestling. Ironically enough, the all press is good press was coined by Chris Jericho, of all people, because he said, and I quote, I'll never forget it for as long as I live, whether you love me or you hate me, you all come to see me. This additive does not work in business. It doesn't.
No.
If I go to a restaurant, Adam, you know this. Yes. If I go to a restaurant and the food is garbage, and then I tell all my friends that the food is garbage, they're not coming to the restaurant.
And it's the double thing of this. The people who say that they think all this stuff is going to be positive, And on our side, people say, don't hate watch it. It only helps it. It's the same thing. No, our coverage, our reporting, our analysis, our critical examination of all this garbage, it does have an effect.
Absolutely.
And has an effect of helping people who are uninformed make a decision.
And Adam, I'm so glad that you said that, because there's been so many people over the years that have come to talk to me about, hey, did you check out this book, or did you watch this show, or did you watch this movie? And if my answer is yes, they know, oh, what did you think? I lay it down. Like, oh, now that you told me that it's good or decent, I'm gonna go to the movies to go see it. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go read it, because my words have credence in certain aspects. So if people with credence are telling people that are normies, don't watch this, this is garbage, the normies aren't showing up.
And
this is simple arithmetic.
Here's an upcoming example of not necessarily, and this is about me now. I'm inserting myself in this as someone who no, it's safe. It's safe. I'm actually going to be talking down about myself here. I'm giving myself no credit at all. We've got House of the Dragon season 2 coming up. I am on the record. Right. I am not a fan of George R.R. Martin, but I don't necessarily care about Game of Thrones because it never sang to me. And I just said, that's it. I don't care. I don't love it or hate it. I don't care. For a year, people have said, are you going to cover that? Will you cover it in my subscribers in the chat? And I said, I didn't cover season 1 because I'm not a fan. But I've since been told, cover it because you're not a fan of George. Give us the non-fan review, not because you're going to hate watch it, but because you don't care. You don't care whether they're bad. You're going to be able to give a complete neutral take. And that's what I'm going to do. But you're not necessarily going to come to me to make a decision on whether or not House of the Dragon is good, because let's be honest, you're going to go to probably watch Gary and Ryan do it because they are hardcore knowledge guys on this shit. You're going to come to me just maybe to get an interesting take on a non-fan's perspective. And now my take is not going to necessarily move the needle on whether or not you're going to watch it. You just want to see, you're going to want to see what somebody who doesn't give a shit is going to have to say. But I know damn well that my opinion isn't going to change whether or not people like it and whether or not people are going to watch it.
And that's, I'm glad you brought that up, Adam, because that comes back to the same point of credence. Like same thing. Like I'm not into Game of Thrones. I'm not into George R.R. Martin and any of that stuff. But if I'm watching Double Hot D and I want to go and watch and give my opinions on it, who gives a toss? I am not it. I am not the one. But at the same time, there could be people that look at it and be like, hey, here's a normie that's taking a look at it. And
I'm going to be giving an essentially normie perspective because I'm not even a normie fan. I'm somebody who has no horse in the race. But people in my chat, in my subscribers, they ask me to do this. They said, Adam,
diversity of opinion has value.
Yeah. But I'm doing it to entertain my channel. I'm not doing it to make you watch or not watch it. I'm doing it because my audience said, please do this. And I'm catering to my audience. And I understand that. And I'm also understanding that what I do may or may not have an effect. But I really understand that it's not about, it won't change the overall aspect in sense of I'm not going to move the needle. But what these people don't understand is that when you take what I'm going to do in the sense of House of the Dragon season 2, it is part of the equation of the whole thing. Then I may not move the needle, but I am still going to be entered as part of the overall process. And the overall process will be everybody should be allowed to talk about this and give their opinions. And this little idiot especially, I had another post lined up, but I forgot to bring it up. These kinds of people, these people, people who need permission from their wife's girlfriend to stand up and pee, they want to stick their fingers in their ears and not ever hear criticism about anything. These are people who think that fandom should be a circle jerk kumbaya, that everybody should be on the same page. You know what? I will bring it up. I will bring it up. It is his thing. I did reply to it. I want to bring it up because it is him, because I made this point in my reply video, in my follow-up video to it earlier in the week. They think that everybody has to agree. They think that everybody cannot dissent. And if you do that, you're toxic. You're bad. You don't get to have an opinion on this stuff.
The traditional echo chamber, like for everything else.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I didn't quote it. I just saw it anyway. You get my point, though. That isn't what being fans is. We fight, we yell, we scream, we're salty, we argue because we have passion. It's not toxicity, it's passion. But these people are not real. They're fake. They do the corporation's bidding. The meme that I've appropriated, I made my own version of it. I went a little crazy with it this week of the dog shitting in the Stan's mouth. I went a little crazy, used it a little too much.
Yeah, you did.
Thumbnail. I put it in my thumb. Hey, well, look, I even put what's his name on it here. You know, I even did this because I was having fun. Okay, I was having fun, and I was hoping it would get me the block. All right, I was hoping it would get me the block. I just want the block. I never want to hear from this idiot again. But I went a little nuts with it. But that's what these people are. They stand there and they take it and they swallow it whole. And that's not what fans do. We are individualists. We have opinions, and we want to try and make the other person admit that we're right and they're wrong. That's it. That's the root of it. We want to get in an argument, and we want to make our fellow nerd admit that, okay, I'm wrong, you're right. And it never happens. It's never going to happen. And that's why the yelling and the screaming starts. But that's part of what being a fan is, being a true, passionate fan is, being the lifeblood of whatever franchise you're involved in. These people don't understand that. They think you all have to, yay, we love this all. We all love it. Yay, don't you? That's what they think being a fan is. And it's not. Because they've been indoctrinated into this weirdness, into this cold hive mind behavior.
And there's there's multiple reasons for that. But one reason is, and once again, I'm going to go back to wrestling. I grew up a huge wrestling fan. And because you're a wrestling fan, you have the right to boo or cheer whoever is out there. That doesn't mean you don't respect the performers. It doesn't mean that maybe you like the story, maybe you don't like the story that's going on. That's your right as a fan, as a wrestling fan and stuff like that. These people never experienced that type of interaction, fandom. They don't know any of this stuff. They're just here because somebody with a blue tie told them, hey, this is our next conquest. Go therefore and make disciples. Like it's the same old garbage because these are not fans. They don't understand how fandom works. Just because you have a gender studies degree doesn't mean that you have the right to be in the arena with real fans that knows what's going on. It's very, very bizarre. But they come from those echo chamber areas. Like you go to some university and everybody kneels before the daggone professor, hang on his every word, and say that whatever everything he or she does is gospel. That is not how fandom works. All my good friends are big nerds and fans. We yell and scream at each other every single time we're together. Every single time. Like, oh, I have this opinion about this character. Screw you and your mama. You know, like that's just how it ends up going. Because we're all trying to, like you said, Adam, perfectly.
Dude,
we're trying to convince the other person.
Right out of the gate, it's always your mom, your sister.
Absolutely.
Right out of the gate.
100%.
Or your dad, you know, if that's the way you want to spin it. You know, it's the way it's going to be.
Yep, close family instantly is the first things we're throwing at you. Your mama don't love you. That's the opening line. And then it goes from there. But that's how fandom works. We're going to yell and we're going to scream because we're passionate about the things that, wait for it, we're fans of.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that bashing, but these people come from echo chambers and like, oh, this is good because fill in diversity quota. Doesn't make something good or bad.
I mean, right now, just get back in the Wayback Machine for a couple of weeks. It hurts me that people are loving the Denny V Dune movies so much because they're not accurate to me. And as a Dune fan, I want to yell and scream, and I did my share of it. I did my share of it, and it's not about me trying to convince them, because I understand for the most part, and I've said it, the Dune stuff, I'd be fighting with normies, and I'm not going to fight with normies, because having a nerd debate with normies, that's not fun.
It's not.
No. Now, if you are a nerd buddy of mine and you want to pick the fight with me, yeah, then we're going to do it. We're having a stream, going to be funny. But I'm not going to, and I purposely withheld what I wanted to do because I didn't want to be the jerk about it, because people are enjoying it. And what it is doing, it is making people go look at the books, which is in the end what I would want the most to have happen. So I gave my comments as a nerd, making sure people understood. I just want you to understand it was wrong here. Now go read the books or go watch the miniseries, which did a little bit better. And that's how you deal with that situation if you want to have a conversation with somebody who isn't going to be a hardcore fan. But you're dealing with fans in the indie thing, and that's especially when you talk about Star Wars. We were at war with each other for 20, 30 years. It doesn't. Oh, we've got a fun one in the chat. Oh, You're a retard. You got a retard. See, this is the exact thing right here. They want to talk about, oh my God, you're watching it, you're really helping it. Oh, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, if you don't like me, why are you here? You don't like us, why are you here? Because you want to be a troll. Well, guess what? Thanks for the engagement, dumbass. Thanks for the engagement. You're moving the chat. I like that. Thanks. Either way, Disney Star Wars fans have been at war with each other for decades before this. And in the end, we still shake hands and say, thank you for enjoying Star Wars. Oh, you're making fun of us. Yeah. You're real good at it.
I think you're missing the irony of that statement.
You're real good at it. I'm so hurt. I'm so upset. Once again, thanks for the engagement, moron. I'm a whiner. Whatever. You're derailing. Thanks for the engagements. Anyway, but they don't understand, and this person's a perfect example of it, that you come in here and you can't handle the criticism. The perfect example, again, Star Wars, prequel defenders. Fiercest fighters I've ever seen when it comes to a fan debate. They will go in with the OT crowd and they will get in the trenches and pull knives. They will gank you and they will be happy about it. And then they'll patch you up and say, okay, we had our fun. We had our fun nerd fight. That's passion because they care. Sequel defenders, they run and go crying. Oh my God, you're toxic. Oh my God, what's the matter with you? That's the difference. There's passion and then there's programmed hive mind behavior. And that's what all these people don't understand. There's passion and then there's fake, and you're all fake. Every goddamn single one of you are fake. And look at this pissing into the wind. Oh, look at that. Now you're going to call me out. Yeah, sure. Oh, look at that. Bitch. I'm a little bitch. You're the coward behind the keyboard coming into my comments on my stream yelling at me.
Well, and when did Adam say he's not represented in the show? When was that ever a criticism he made?
I got to ask, are you somebody who's come at me before and just changed your name? I feel like you are. You're one of these people who I've beaten in the past, and you've just changed your handle to come whine at me some more, so I don't know who you are. Anyway, we're at the end of the show anyway. You guys want to have some final thoughts on this narrative topic, because we're getting derailed by a troll, and we're at the end of the show. We're over 2 hours anyway, so let's go. So you guys want to finish this up?
Yeah, sure. But I think all the points have pretty much been made essentially. The idea of having an echo chamber has never been effective for fandom. And that's never going to be the effective way for any of this stuff to grow, whether it be Acolyte or any other of these shows or movies or what have you. The idea that these echo chambers restrain open conversation is why these franchises never go anywhere and why they always end up fizzling out. So as long as they keep doing that, they'll go nowhere. They'll lose billions, whatever. But we got plenty of good stuff to fall back on.
Already lost billions.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Jed, any closing thoughts on the narrative?
Not a lot. You guys said it very well. It's just fascinating to see these people who are so obsessed with, the political nature of things. It's infused in everything. So this narrative is fundamentally from a political perspective for them. And so people who are just like us fundamentally saying, we just want stories that are stories and not political propaganda, then they make us into their political opponents. So there's never going to be any winning in that situation, regardless of if you happen to agree with their politics or not. I know several people in this sphere who are far left liberals who still criticize all this stuff because of the way it's framed. This is entertainment. It's not supposed to be political propaganda. It's not supposed to be a political echo chamber. Of course, there's going to be studios or certain films that it makes sense to be political, and those have always existed, and those are always going to be acceptable as long as there's the ability for the inverse of whatever opinion to be acceptable to be shown. So it's never, as soon as you make something political, you demonize your opponents to such a degree that a mature discourse is impossible. Whereas if you're talking about like the prequels and stuff like that, yeah, the discourse is going to be insane, but at the end of the day, you can just be like, man, we disagree, but that was fun. Do you want to go have a beer or something? Like it was never personal in classic nerd debates.
We have disagreed this year alone on several movies.
We have most recently on what was that film? I memory hold it a bit. Not the Golden Child, the one from a few weeks ago. Legend, yes. We disagree vehemently on that one. I thought it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. He loves it. But I'm not going to be like, oh, you must hate insert race here.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we're not done here. It's not. We're still here. We're still hanging out. We're still doing stuff. We had a difference in opinion. Oh no, and we had an adult debate about it, and it was fun. And that's the thing. We can have, like you said, we can have these adult conversations. We don't have to be immature, like a little pissant who probably sits when he pees, talking about we need to talk, making it all about race when we never said we had to see ourselves in anything. You're the ones that have to see yourselves in everything.
And it's so funny that they come at it from a race perspective or whatnot right off the bat,
always that,
without realizing the evidence of their own eyes. This is a very diverse panel that we have.
Wait,
but of course we just hate white people.
I'm a white guy. You're ginger, and Dre's black.
And then Dragon Lady, who stepped off for a minute.
She's a woman. And we've had plenty of people on here who are of all types of shapes, sizes, and retardation. I mean, listen, we cater to retards like Dermy. All right, we give all kinds of representation. And Dermy, gay as fuck, and he gets to be on here.
He's the best representation. Like if
he checks
he
so many
did what
boxes
he wanted,
for us.
oh yeah,
he would. So many boxes.
He would be so popular at LA parties.
They hate. So they actually hate him because, listen, he's our punching bag. You stay the fuck away from him. He's our punching bag. But it's about understanding what fans want. In what roughly a month. Stellar Blade is about to drop in a month.
Oh yeah.
We are all clamoring to play as a busty Asian woman in a game. We are clamoring to play that. I hope that my internet has corrected itself so I can stream it by then. Right now, what is everybody doing? I mean, we didn't talk about the gaming aspect of the narrative thing because everybody else has done it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to rehash stuff. But what is everybody doing right now with Dragon's Dogma 2 if they're enjoying it? They're spending 2 hours, men, making themselves female avatars with tits bigger than their heads. All right?
That's exactly what's happening.
That's what's going on here right now. I watched it peripherally because I was doing a recording of Rebirth for my gaming channel. I spent 2 hours making his big-titted hero on his channel when he started on the game the other day. People are making characters that don't look like them. But no, everything's about you have to see yourself in it. That just proves you're all goddamn fake. None of you are gamers. None of you are fans. You're all fake because all you got in your goddamn arsenal is my diversity, my inclusion, my representation. That's all you freaking got. And you're going to come cry at us and call us the ones. We never think about it until you bring it up. And then we point it out, and then you cry that we're bringing it up. You didn't start this war, but we sure damn as well are going to end it. Just like this show is now over for today. All
Preach,
right,
Adam, preach.
We are done here. Let's go around the horn, preach our stuff. I'll preach for Dragon Lady. Check out her channel. She plays The Sims. She plays games. She does movie reviews. Check it out. All right, Jed, what you got coming up this week?
Well, you can all find me, Hollywood Scholar, on YouTube and Kick. I'm going to be making videos more regularly now. I've done more videos in the last week than I have in the last month or two. So I'm, back to the grind now that my book is finished and just looking for a publisher and all that. Good drama. But I'll also be playing a lot of Helldivers this week with Fear the Beardo and his crew. We've had fun playing a couple times now.
For democracy.
And the funny thing about that game is there's no arguments about seeing yourself. Every single character you play, you don't see their face, you don't see their sexuality, there's nothing in it. It is just you are a soldier. That's all you need to know. So, you're not seeing yourself in that because that's never been a priority. But we're having a blast playing that. So you can check out Hollywood Scholar, YouTube and Kick.
Yeah, I've struggled with FOMO on that. Physically, because everybody's playing it and people have said, Adam, you need to play it with me or come join us. And I was like, well, one, the old girl PC, she can't handle it. And two, if I did get it on the PS5, I'd have to pay for PlayStation Plus. And I can't rationalize that. I just can't, because it's not in my gaming budget. My gaming budget has been allotted for Final Fantasy 14 and for Stellar Blade next month. Therefore, I cannot do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. And also I wouldn't be able to stream it. I would just be joining other people then. So either way, it's not in my future. And maybe someday, maybe with a price reduction, if it's still going, who knows? But I've resisted all Helldivers, despite the fact that it looks like you guys are all having a ball. We are looking forward to a point where on a certain stream, there's going to be apparently a Hunt Dermy game in it.
Ooh,
where they're gonna hunt Dermy instead of they're gonna hunt Dermy instead of bugs.
I don't know how they're gonna do that, because if you're in a match together, your teammates show up on your map.
They don't care. They don't care. It's let's hunt Dermy. He's our Dermy. Anyway, Dre, what's coming up this week?
So this week, Monday, whatever's popping out in the streets on the Brutal Playing Comics YouTube channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see what's happening. Wednesday, I might have another good interview with another independent creator. That should be real. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I got to review X-Men Wednesday. Sorry.
You're just counting the moments till it falls apart.
Oh, goodness, I completely forgot. Reviewing X-Men on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be dropping my review. We'll see what's going on. I completely forgot that quickly. Yeah, but in other news, for those that aren't familiar with me, follow me on Twitter at TheBrood00. Check out my YouTube channel, Brutal Playing Comics. And if you're going to be in the DMV area on April 13th through the 14th, I will be at Big Lit Comic-Con. It's going to be a really fun time. And I will be officially debuting the musical album that goes with my graphic novel, Trouble the Rhythm Within. It's going to be a really, really fun time. Definitely come on through. It's going to be tremendous. So that'll be April 13th through the 14th. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Excellent. As for myself, because my internet is still janked up on the upload side of it, there will be no gaming stream tonight, but you can go over to Renaissance Nerd Arcade, my gaming channel. Let's help it grow. It's where all the gaming happens now, so I don't just destroy my algorithm over here. Regular uploads of my playing of Final Fantasy and Rebirth. One is going to go live in 7 minutes. The stuff, whatever I did yesterday, we are in Nibelheim, Chapter 11. Then tomorrow, it's Monday, which means it's Mellow Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, where myself, Devil Made Me Do It, and likely Samuel Infamous, and others. It's an open door. You never know who's going to be there. We're just simply going to nerd out over stuff, have some fun, probably do more nerd debate stuff. We're having a good time nerd debating Star Trek right now, which is better, TNG and DS9. We had to cut it short because Samuel was a little late because the internet went out, but it was a great discussion. You guys want to check it out? There's a new playlist on the front page.
Wait, you talk about stuff you love? I thought you never would do that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talked about how Benjamin Sisko, a black man, is awesome. It was great. So fun. So we're breaking this up. It's going to take a while. Which is the number one Star Trek? So TNG or DS9? We're having some problems because we keep convincing ourselves and unconvincing ourselves which one is better. And
Voyager.
No, actually, no. Samuel thinks DS9 is number one.
It's
me.
Enterprise. Come on, we all know
Voyager, Adam. It's Voyager.
Shut up,
Captain Janeway.
Shut up. No. So problem is I keep convincing myself and unconvincing myself of which one's in the lead because it's just so much fun talking about it. So check that out. We're gonna keep talking this. And then let's see. No Natural 20. Until my internet is fixed, I am putting Natural 20 on hiatus because it's a solo show. And unless you actually see me and not my avatar, it's kind of pointless because then I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking at you. So unless we interact through it. So Natural 20 is off the shelf for the time being. If my internet fixes itself, we're back in business. Either way, so no Natural 20 this week unless my internet gets fixed. Halo is over. I have no reviews planned except for my slow-ass review process for the Avatar live action. I will try and get episode 3 out this week since I don't have anything major going on.
Does it get worse?
Apparently
does it keep getting worse?
Apparently it does. It does. Dermy says it keeps getting worse and worse.
I only watched the first episode and I was out.
Yeah, well, the chat voted, Jed. They told me I have to review each one individually. I tried to give myself an out and say, let me just do it all at once. No, you have to suffer every single episode. So I'll be doing episode 3 at some point this week, getting ready for future reviews because it's going to be, once April hits, a lot of reviews. We got Fallout. You guys heard Velma's coming back?
And did hear that.
Now there's some confusion. It may or may not be a batch drop. If it is a batch drop, you'll get one review and that's it. I'm not letting you assholes vote on that. Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm gonna do one and out. Dermy's gonna he can suffer if he wants to do multiples. I don't care. Then we've got May and June, all kinds of good stuff coming out. So look forward to more reviews as the summer gets started. And then Jed, what we got coming up on Saturday Night Driving this week?
We will be watching, I think, one of the best Will Ferrell movies because he's being serious, which is good for him. I'm not a fan of him as a comedian for the most part, but we will be watching Will Ferrell and Emma Thompson in Stranger Than Fiction. I believe that's from 2006.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have a good time.
I've never seen it. I know of it. I know what it's about. I've never seen it, so you're going to get a fresh take.
It's a good discussion film. It's not necessarily one that you're like, oh yeah, if you just want to enjoy and have fun. It's not that type of film. It's not one that we're going to rate very high, but it's just a good discussion film.
Right now, my first thought is how bored am I going to be? That's my first thought right now. How bored am I going to be watching this? Because I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan, and the concept of the movie is not that engaging me. But we'll see. That's the whole point. Jed likes to put these ones out there so we can see how it rolls out in comparison to other things. So it should be a good one. And I can say this, that next week, the following weekend, I'm bringing back one that we've done before on previous incarnation of Saturday Night Drive-In. We're doing Fifth Element. We're bringing that back. Jed's never seen it, guys. Jed's never seen it. So hope for me. That's a fun one. It's going to be a good one. Yeah, Dre's going. Yeah, Dre knows how this might go.
Oh, I do.
He knows it. Dre, do you like Fifth Element, Dre?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, see? All right, Jed, you have to like it now. Anyway, you'll also see me on Dermy's channel, Ballbusters, 11 p.m. Eastern on Friday, where we just get up to all kinds of dinner shit. And despite the fact that Kratos wants us all to be called Derm-generates, I do not approve of this. I vetoed it. We are in discussions to be labeled something else than that. I will not be called a Derm-generate. That's not happening. It ain't happening. Sorry. Not gonna happen. Anyway, and then we'll be right back here next week, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another roundtable. Who knows what the internet's going to provide? We don't know. It's a week-to-week thing. We didn't cover any box office today. Let's just say Dune is looking to hit 650. It's going to probably peter out around there. And Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was not off to a very good start. Probably won't make its money. Maybe get close to break even. I don't know. We didn't have time for box office today. But either way, thank you, one and all. The actual fans, the real fans out there. We know we love you. We appreciate everything you do. We know who you are. We love that you're here. We thank you for everything. Links in the description below. Hit the like buttons. And to everybody who popped in and they didn't say hi earlier, hi to all of you. I saw you in the chat. I appreciate your support. Thank you. We love you. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next week.